there a way to like seek attunement?
Actually, so you actually see that the people who have been giving what they've seen some thought, right, and considering it.
I have insight to see what's going on.
So you see, you see that the Grey Riders are crazy, right? So clearly, he said it themselves. They kill 1,000 people at a time, but their love for nature is genuine, and it has a real effect on the nature you've seen. Nature is preeminent here, rather than man being preeminent. And it does, and these guys have said, that makes me reflect on how I live. You, as a character, may say, forget that. Anybody who's willing to kill 1,000 people, I would never embrace anything they embrace. But these guys, it's brought them to question their own, while they do this terrible thing, their loyalty to nature is interesting, and it's made them reflect. That's given attunement.
I'm religious. I'm not going to agree.
I'm religious, but not spiritual.
But I don't have a problem with nature. I'm not one who's going to go cut down a forest to, profit from the lumber.
Yeah. So here's what I would say. One, they were attuned before they saw the Grey Riders straight up. I think it would be even harder for you to be attuned now. So I would say I will give a roll for it.
Okay.
So one,
what do you mean roll?
I will give you half your paladin level plus your wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
No insight.
No, nothing. Yeah, I will allow you insight if that's better for you. Absolutely. Oh, and but it's a 20. It's
okay.
Hard. Yeah.
But am I getting half the paladin on that, or just insight?
No, you get half your paladin level. Yeah.
Just missed it.
You were not meant to be, man.
All right.
Pedal on.
Yeah. All right.
So
I see no good reason why I would have that insight. So
I think
you
know what? You are playing your character. Inspiration. Well played.
I have
and I'm gonna go
hands to use on people.
We're just gonna take a short rest, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure
everybody's pretty damn hurt, though.
You also have inspiration. You actually solved a campaign mystery in the middle of a combat, which was very interesting. So that is inspiration.
All right, so.
And there were some interesting things done in the combats. Someone pointed out.
I'm down 70.
Oh.
Elshon, you look injured. Let me take care of you. Let me tend to you.
I actually thought it was brilliant.
I just start, doing
and one of the reasons why is you saw how effective it was with when the Triceratops were doing it. It was extremely good.
Did you help me out, David?
I don't remember.
Do you have healing hands over there, Bald?
I actually used mine.
All right. We're good.
How bad are you hurt?
I just fireball hasted and told him the right place to put the tree.
He did.
He told me the right place to put the tree.
Do you already have inspiration? You used it, right?
I used it, yeah.
I'll give you inspiration because it was critical.
Right,
I will tell you this right now. It cut off half my dudes. It cut off my Grey Riders, and they were far worse than any of the beasts.
We're taking a short rest.
So that was a huge problem for me.
You can do your Song of Rest, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a D6.
If you use a thing.
I'm using them.
Yeah. I believe it's D6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of banged up. I'm down 2 hit points by the end of it. I mean,
yeah.
So does anybody else want to help me heal before I start popping potions?
Well, no. Use your hit dice.
Oh yeah, I got those. I forgot about those.
And it's con on top of that, right?
Yeah.
So
which is +3.
Do I...
Oh, that was crappy.
16, 20.
82.
Do I start getting rid of spells to use a smite to heal? I mean, who does that? Let's see.
Well, I don't know if we need to do it yet. We'll use our healing hit dice first, I guess.
5 is 11.
It's better to use your hit dice first.
I don't...
You're going to be like 3 hit points. Silly.
But for him or anybody else...
I'm actually not that far off here.
38.
People are doing calculus.
It feels like it.
6 is 19.
A lot of healing going on, I guess, right?
19,
I was just
29, 32.
To get out.
Let me know when you guys are done with your healing, and I'll start giving you your
125,
items.
that's close enough.
Yeah, if it kept going, my next move was
Fortress?
Fortress, bonus heal him, and then Fortress.
I was running the Fortress and started shooting firebolts at people. That was getting ugly.
I dropped a guy, but I still didn't get my death save.
He got up before his death save.
You didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, clearly.
I used all my healing hit dice, and it brought me to max on the dots.
On dots.
Do you want me to take the bases off of this?
I'm down. I'm off by 6, but I'll let it go.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
You might need them.
Only because of his healing word, though, or I would not have been healed up.
What did your healing word do?
An extra die 6.
Oh, his Song of Rest.
Or Song of Rest, whatever.
Oh, that's a full 6 on the full. Yay!
Oh, on the dot as well. Nice.
Okay, that worked out pretty well. Thank you for calling that one out.
So I still have 5 dice, and I'm down 7.
Ouch.
Song of Rest.
I did that one. So should I use one more?
Yeah, go to full. There's no point. If you die by 2 hit points, those hit dice don't do anything for you.
This is very true.
So.
You must have rolled well.
Yeah, because you can only use your hit dice during a rest, right?
Yes.
Did you roll them one at a time?
Yeah.
I didn't even bother. I just dropped them all.
I did them one at a time. Like,
Yeah, a lot of 7s, 8, and 9s. A couple of 2s, but I also got 35 points of healing from him.
Yeah.
So.
Don't forget my 11.
There we go.
Hey, that 11 was the most important.
It was indeed.
Although, not with them getting dropped.
How big are these paths?
The paths are about 20. Like you can see, there's about 20, 40 feet wide.
Yeah, that one's
Okay.
about 40 feet.
Big enough for an armored wagon.
We're gonna put wheels on that Darian's Instant Fortress.
Actually, now we just had a way to propel it.
Okay. All right. So that okay. Oh, and let me give you your items. Okay. So as you go away, you get there's 2 black nuts, 1 gray nut, and 1 speckled nut. And then wow, you really are straining yourself there, Ryan. That's good. No, you're good. And then
He said 2 black nuts, dude.
Yeah.
It's the second time he said 2 black nuts.
there are so these
I don't
guys
get
are
it.
they have
In a
short,
sack.
they
Bill
have short
Cosby.
swords, which to them are long swords, but they're short swords to you. There
how
is
many?
a luck blade short sword,
Ew.
a dust of disappearance, a defender short sword. Oh, and there are 4 pressed leaves,
You writing this down, Tim?
and then there is a medallion of thought.
So there's 2 press leaves,
4 pressed leaves.
and then a medallion of thought.
Yes.
What's the battalion of thought do?
You
Gives you like
I
a
can give you
19
the
intelligence or
DMG.
something.
I think you have my
I
DMG.
put it right
No,
here.
that's right here. Yeah. Go ahead and pass that down to him. All right. Okay.
Oh, I can look it up in the.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you know off the top of your head. I'm not that worried about it.
Okay. So at that point, you guys, so you have your choice and your choice. So you guys are getting close. You have a catalog of virtually everything he has seen. You've seen combat. The only things you haven't seen is a civilized town. Once you've seen that, taken a few collected items, coins, whatever you need, right, you would have enough to go back. Except you've seen something very unusual here, which has piqued your interest.
The fortress
It is
thing
your
or
choice. So
whatever.
you have a choice now. You can go, and now that there's absolutely no witnesses, you could watch that town. You might even be able to stealth in there at night, get what you need, and roll out on the next ship. Or you could see what's below the ground.
Well, it could be
The ground.
I'm
What's
still
the
stuck
ground?
on the fact you just gave us a luck blade.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
It's a short sword.
Yes, but
It's a luck.
I know exactly what it is.
The second part of it, can we?
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know what it
roll that
is.
1d4?
Yeah, you
I'll
got
let
it.
you know what it is once I identify it.
No, these are all identified. You're fine. You don't have to mark it off or anything.
Well, I mean, it would
Oh my god. What is it?
We just got 3 wishes.
Wow.
And it's just a sweet thing to keep on your person.
Oh yeah, it's huge. All right. Okay. Now who has? Oh, okay. Oh, so let's go through it.
We could just avoid the whole voyage home and just wish being there.
Who has a luck blade on them now?
I don't know. What is there? There's 5 of us. I mean,
Yeah, you're
we
gonna do
each
it
grab
random.
stuff.
I
Let's
think
do
that's
it
a great
random.
way. Yeah, I totally agree.
1, 2,
What'd you roll?
3, 4.
So okay, so you have the luck blade on you.
Who grabbed the luck blade?
Okay.
All right, and who has the dust of disappearance? Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? None of the rest is that important. You guys can, split that up.
Divvy
as
it,
you need.
however.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, that one was important. Okay. All right, so I need your decision. Are you going to go watch that town, or are you going to go check out the underground structure?
Right.
It's so underground.
During the fight, I noticed that there's some kind of structure beneath the stone.
What do you mean by structure?
It's.
What do you mean by
I'm
stone?
not sure. there was a few places where the rough stone met the top of the ground. So there seems to be some kind of structure, or I don't really know. I mean, I did not see it, but I would like to investigate that. And I think that might, if it's not some kind of underground fortress for these Grey Riders, which I do not think they like the underground, it could be something that tells us something important about this place.
I mean, we are here to explore what lies within.
I'm not very interested in going anywhere near any further than I have to tonight, and I do not think that it would be good to show our fortress breaking the skyline anywhere anytime soon.
I have spent much time amongst the dwarves, so I'm at home in the earth as well.
So you guys are going down.
Yeah, I mean, I can make a portal to get there,
Absolutely.
but we have to go.
There's
back to
probably
the
a
fight.
door.
Right, now actually, so that is one of the things that is not a problem, all right? So
Okay,
you
that's my one
begin
worry.
stealthily edging around to find a safe place to view it, and obviously don't want to trigger any of the morning that you saw. The only thing that alarms you is you find it is huge. It is a 1/4 mile wide, and it's easily accessible from hundreds of feet away, right, from the area. It's a massive structure.
Oh, so I as I approach it, I can see
Yeah,
there's like more.
actually, one of the things is about every 1/4 mile there is a stone which is essentially can be moved and has been hollowed out, right?
Oh,
and
wow.
so
Okay.
it's in this particular area. You also see that there are other stones where they could switch them. Like there are actually real stones that they could cover it up if they felt that the Grey Riders were going to be close or anything like that.
So it seems like
It's
this is not
definitely
the Grey Riders'
yeah.
high. Okay.
No, this is not the Grey Riders area. All right, so
right.
so you go over, and so here we go. All right, so right, and yeah, so you find that essentially it starts. It starts about 20 feet below the ground. Okay. There are areas where there are actually stairs that you could take down if you were to move one of the stones. Did you want to do that?
This is going to the metropolis that's and been in hiding from the Grey Riders.
Say that again.
So you could actually go down the stairs that are near one of the fake stones. There are stairs underneath the stones.
I feel like that would be too obvious. I'm gonna look for.
You want to
broken, like things that would be like stone traps and things like that. If I could.
So you're going to look for traps?
Yeah,
All right.
I'll look
You
for
guys do not have a rope,
Did you
correct?
read Wish?
What?
Did you read Wish? One of the things is just to permanently give all of us resistance to a damage type.
I did not read Wish. No.
He's looking now, yeah. All right, so you are looking for traps. You are not a rogue.
Irregular stonework.
Maybe
Like
it's
something
wish for
like-
the Grey Riders to die.
Something
and see
dealing
what
with a
happens.
stone.
No.
Is something
That would
out of
really be a
place.
chaotic
Doesn't
evil
look
sort
like
of
that's a
thing,
pressure
wouldn't it?
plate instead
Probably
of a
wouldn't
real
fit with any of our
landing spot. You know,
Right.
kind of like. You know,
Okay, I'll make your DC. I'll set your
I
DC.
have no idea how that's going to play out, but
Good luck.
What are you trying to do?
I'm setting your DC. You can make your roll now.
okay. Now, is that what kind of check is that anyway?
Well, I will tell you in one moment.
Investigate or insight?
All right.
To look for traps is usually investigate. Yes.
Okay, well, I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
would be investigate. Correct.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Or perception.
No.
All right, so a 21 with no.
You got it. You
Oh
need
wait,
an
well, I would get
you
half
need an
for
18.
jacket trade. So.
All right. So there are no traps,
Great.
but it's extremely well hidden.
You don't see any traps.
So maybe just that they're counting on the hiding.
The non-existent traps are very well
Yeah,
hidden.
no, yeah. You've looked around. You're highly confident there are no traps.
Okay, great.
Right.
All right.
Did you want to take the stairs down, or do you want to try a different entrance?
Yeah, like evil GM.
we're
You say
following,
that,
right?
and
We're all-
you
yeah, okay.
You're all there, and you can take any actions you want to at any point.
Well, this looks hidden from the Grey Riders well, but I'm not sure we are going to get a warm welcome. Perhaps we could make an entrance.
I'm not afraid to use the stairs.
I say we
After you, good sir.
Off I go.
All right.
I'll go ahead.
side by side. I'm with him.
I'll follow behind him.
So you guys go down.
3 volunteers.
I would have used my
What kind of like is it?
While we were resting, can I send Maggie to go retrieve my my loyal retainers?
Yes, absolutely. They found you. Yeah.
Am I loyal? I mean, like, where the hell?
All right.
They ran just like he said.
So I got back one of my 3rd level slots when we rested.
So you guys go down, right? You don't find it. You are able actually to go 60 feet down and 80 feet more, and then you come across.
Is it dark? Like what a?
So actually, it is quite dark.
Okay.
But the walls are well taken care of, and
I will dancing lights.
Okay.
So 4 torches,
even better than what I was.
kind of out and around us.
and you guys come across a room. And this is the room,
Can you modulate light, or is it just binary?
and you come across a room, and there are 2 people
Yeah,
practicing.
I can use prestidigitation.
So it is a sorcerer and a it is a sorcerer. I'm sorry, a caster and a combatant fighting, sparring. You've never seen this before. It's essentially like, and so clearly this is the combatant and this is the caster, and you guys come around the corner, and since you're in plate, the one of them turns around and a big smile comes across her face, and she says, "Welcome, welcome. What village have you come from?"
Greetings. We are what they call sojourners, right?
It says, "Well, certainly. You're from one of the culled villages, of course, right? No. That's why we're here, to aid people such as yourselves."
We found the resistance.
I was worried that none of your type of people existed on this crazy and savage place.
She says, "Let me introduce myself." She says, "But please come in, have a seat. Let us get you some fresh water." And then the caster comes over. Now she's the combatant, right? And she says,
"What race are these 2?
Yeah. So she is she says, "I am Osmonder. Osmonder is a female, and you can see this is exactly what she looks like. She is a female human, and she says, I am the leader of Emrystal, this underground city. And she says, we 3,000 reside here, and you are welcome. She says, never again will you be under the thumb of the Grey Riders. We are here to aid you and equip you, feed you." Right, and she says, "And this is my." She says, "Of course, I am a forge, and this is my good friend who aids me in the leadership of Emrystal, and and she says his name is Grion, and he is a fuser, and he is an old, like 70-year-old human." And the 2 of them, both right here on their necks, have a tattoo. And let's do it now. All right, so, and I'm going to, I'm excited about this. All right, so.
I say, well met.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Question.
I am Abram.
What is the population of the catfolk?
5,000.
Yeah.
5,000?
5,000.
Small number.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. All right, so I'm going to start passing these around. So this is all the symbols. The next 2 pages is forge, and I'm going to get into detail on all these. And then the next pages after this are fuse. And your learning of this system begins now. You may have knowledge of it by the time you're done. You may be trained in one of these. And we're going to start digging into this, because one of the biggest things is you're about to learn a massive amount of information about Aceions. And so they literally bring cool water. They sit you guys down at a table, and they begin to bring, and they think you're refugees. They literally think you're refugees. But except for the fuser, you could tell he's like, whoa, wait a second, that dude's armor is better than anything I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's got crazy armor. I'm wearing Red Dragon scale now.
Well, mine looks.
Oh, are these our own
Mine
copies?
looks like Red Dragon
cool.
scales.
Yeah.
Just freaking gleaming bright axe.
I've got dwarven plate. I'm immune to criticals.
Yeah, he's now, so you can see he's not upset or violent, but he can tell, like, you guys are definitely not. But he does not interrupt her in any way.
Sojourners.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
everybody calls
Yeah.
us.
Right, yeah, but
Thank
he
you,
knows that
Matt,
you're
for
not
your-
common villagers
for your
that
hospitality.
that stumbled off the street, like, yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, now, so she sits you down, and people come in and out of the room, right? And they start essentially giving you orientation for living here in this town, right? Because they think that you're from a cold village. Does anybody interrupt them or tell them that's not true?
I said we were sojourners. I
Right.
thought that cleared
Okay.
it up.
That's cool. All right. So you're going to enjoy their hospitality, right?
Does anyone, but other than where Nate interrupted and said we're sojourners, do they ever ask again specifically where we're from?
Oh, no, like, especially not, because they've done this 100 times. They get people like you who walk down all the time, and so for the purpose of brevity, right? You guys are actually going to spend a few hours with them, okay? And during that time, they're going to orientate you to the city, okay? So the first thing they tell you is they tell you of all the cities that exist. So there is Vikmord with 4,000, Huma with 2,000, Kintor with 3,000, Emmerstal with 3,000, Rithison with 4,000, Thendar with 2,000, Veloth with 3,000, Emek with 3,000, Vesmeral with 4,000. And the reason they're telling you these names is they also start to tell you about the places and what each one of them does that the other ones don't, so that you can find the home that you're most comfortable in.
A bunch of
Domarsk,
city-states.
2,000, Ridis 2,000, Dreskis 4,000, Baristrak 3,000, and Alholin 2,000. 14 underground cities.
So I'm writing all this down on my site.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it
Yeah,
doesn't,
you're good.
like, look like I'm
Yeah,
writing
and
in
so
any language.
you guys have that information. You can ask me for it anytime. You don't have to write all that down.
Okay.
But you now understand that they have 14 cities. And so, does anybody have any questions about how to...
I'll ask,
yes, go right ahead.
So, if the Grey Riders were to discover any of your underground holes, what kind of fighting forces do you have to muster against their overwhelming power?
She says, it is an excellent question. We have been quite alarmed recently. The 14 cities have been in peace for quite a while, and this has not been a problem at all. And one of the reasons why is we have many allies on the surface. Many of the villagers have 1 or 2 or 3 agents who will send people down as soon as their village starts to get large. Here, we focus on forging and fusing, which of course is the magic of this land. Now, most of you are commoners and are not aware of magic of any type. Oh, by the way, so at that point, Grian gets this big old grin on his face because he knows she's wrong. He knows she's wrong.
I have
go
to,
ahead.
like there's. I think there is just a sheer vast amount of presence, like especially here with the amount of charisma we have. Like I don't think there's any way that they could
Not under,
believe that we're just common folk.
That's a great point, right? So why is that? And here's why. So that is an insight that's a player successful insight from the player. You're dead on correct, okay? He knew the second you walked in that you were not from Aceions. So Grian knows completely.
She dumpstatted her mentals.
No. Actually, Osmonder, and you get this sense, right? So she is the leader of Emmerstal. She's the leader of a 4,000 city. The moment you walked in, she dropped everything, and she literally went and got water and food for you. She is a servant at heart, and she does not see with her mind, she sees with her heart. Right. And so she sees people in trouble, and also, not only is she extremely helpful, but she loves to believe the worst of the Grey Riders. And so she sees everyone as a victim of the Grey Riders, and doesn't see any doesn't see any Greys when it comes to Grey Riders.
With
Go right ahead.
Alistron, he is not going to lie. He's not going to, he's not going to take part in
Deceiving them.
some obvious deceit.
Yeah.
I told him what we were.
You didn't lie, and he's not going to contradict you. He's not going to volunteer. Oh yes, I was about to say no. We're actually from across the sea before he actually said something, but I don't feel the need to correct him because we're traveling together.
Well,
if I acknowledge that this guy is aware that we're more than
what is your alignment?
Oh, I'm lawful good.
He's
okay.
I am a paladin playing a paladin.
So I've never done this before in my life, but I'm going to do it now. You're going to make an alignment roll because, to tell the truth, you are deceiving them at length. You're deceiving her at length. Now, it does no harm to her, and it wouldn't matter to anybody.
That's why I said,
yeah.
if anyone specifically asks another question, then I will be. We will be.
Well,
telling the truth.
there's lots of opportunity to tell the truth that sail right past, and so I do want a wisdom check from you. If you fail that wisdom check, you will be compelled by your alignment to tell her.
See, I'm also lawful good, but I am heavier on the law, like to the letter of the law.
And you've explained you're very pragmatic.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So-
We
hold
walked
on.
down there with 4 glowing lanterns.
I'm going to set your
hovering
DC.
in the air.
I think she feels that not commoner like peasant folk, but like belonging
You need a
to
16.
like
What'd you got?
you're
15.
not you're not in the
There you go.
military. You're not in
Failed
the,
by one.
Like we're not in the military.
I don't
we're
know.
not.
There's
We're
nothing
not
about me that doesn't scream
mayors.
soldier.
All right. So
Everything about me
I'm
screams
gonna
military.
I'm gonna approach her, and thank you for your hospitality. It's much appreciated. And as I say that, I just meld into a house cat, and begin doing the cat thing around her legs.
she goes, "You're fusers."
And then I'll, as I complete my like figure 8 circuit in front of her, I'll stand back up as a human.
Oh, no.
And bow.
Oh no, I do not turn into a cat. If that's what fusing is.
She says, "You fuse as well? You burn metal to cast?"
I burn metal to slay. I take out my greatsword and
I'll mimic him at the same time.
And so at this point, Gryon comes forward and he says, "You have accepted our hospitality peacefully. We have told you much of what happens here in Emerstal. Please tell us your story." And at this point, Osmonder is like, "What?" You know, she's like kind of shocked.
Osmonder. And what's his name?
His name is Gryon.
Grion Osmonder. We actually may have allies for you in your cause. Like yourself, the refugees, and they seek peaceful coexistence.
and they
And
might
they're
rub
in-
against your legs.
And they're in need of help. they've known the yoke of oppression.
That is most interesting. So, and at that point, here's a question. All right, so they have Gryon has lots of questions. He's very patient and he's very kind, but he will get as much information as he can because he's not. You don't get a sense that he's evil, but he's fascinated, right? And just as you guys are fascinated.
Well, as soon as they said burn metal on my
Here's what they're gonna try to get. They want to know where Gryon wants to know where you're from. What do you tell him? Thracian. Which he already. Oh, actually, that's true. You could have from a different river.
No, sorry,
Right,
Olmir. I'll tell him from Olmir.
Oh, you're going to tell him from. Okay, so you tell Olmir. And he says, Olmir. He says, we have not had diplomacy with Olmir for over 100 years. He says, King Eteron still rules with an iron hand. Is this not true?
He does not.
He's been deposed.
Really?
His daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
His
that's
daughter
exactly
now.
right.
His daughter now reigns. He has been banished.
Yes, exiled. That's exactly
He
right.
has been exiled.
Yeah.
For the
And his slaves have been freed.
Wow. He says, and so he says, yeah. Do you tell him that you guys are representing the slave people?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right.
There's allies that they may benefit each
And
other.
his mouth just drops. He's like, wow. All right. So he is blown away, right? And so he says, this news is huge. This could change the face of Aceions. We must meet with the council, and we must discuss this with the other 14 cities. But I wish to discuss this with you in depth before I go to any of the other cities. And Osmonder,
Might I ask a question? I'm surprised that Arbram hasn't brought it up first, but you said there's 14 cities, right?
Indeed.
Are there tunnels underground leading from city to city, or must you actually leave to the surface?
It is a great question. Says it would be very difficult for us to tunnel all those ways. So we use fusing to create teleports. There are many challenges we have by living underground. So one of the things is they get up and they start to walk you guys out, right? No, I'm sorry, not out of this room. They walk you toward the center, and there's a huge atrium that drops down 11 floors, right? And you can look out, and there's chains that are kind of like, falling from the very, very ceiling, and people are swinging across this like 60-foot gap, and like just kind of moving around. And there's 3,000 people in here, right? There's entire commerce. Now, one of the things that you can tell is they have food as they're going back, and even the food has been very sparse and not good because they live underground. So it's not bad. It's just it's clearly not super fresh or vibrant.
It's like Matrix vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. They have nutrient. That's about it.
Nutrient slot.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bad, and they explain they send hunters up every now and then, and they'll get fresh meat, but they have to send them up about every 2-3 days, and they make it stretch as long as it can. They actually apologize for their fare.
Any of the things that we killed, like bears, like natural things, were the bodies still up there?
You guys have not been back to that space, so you're not sure what
We
what
didn't go all
happened.
the way.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
my backstory. I've spent a lot of time with dwarves. That they actually, for services to the dwarves. From where I'm from, that's where I got my dwarven armor. And I speak the language of the dwarves. Like I know that there are dwarven practices. Eating mushrooms and having like essentially underground, cattle. Is there anything, that might be able to be brought here that would be able to have that type of situation?
So she says, actually, that is quite interesting. There is someone here named Thanestone. You may have more knowledge about living underground than we have. Would you be willing to spend a few days with Thanestone and discuss some of these ideas?
Absolutely.
That is most kind.
I will join you in this.
Right. Now, go ahead.
Osmo, what is it that the Grey Riders have on the land that gives them so much control? Why you have so many in so many cities? Why can you not
Defeat them? Well, one, we do not know if we can defeat them or not. We have built a mighty power source below. We have been learning fusing and forging for only 13 years now. It is relatively new. And we believe that we could defeat them now. One of the reasons why we have not is there has not been a culling in some time. And one of the reasons why is we are secretly taking these from them. The other thing that we found is it has become quite comfortable to live down here, except for the fair. We have a great deal of freedom, and many of our people...
Freedom within chains, of course.
Yeah. Would you not prefer to have this freedom in the sun?
Although if you choose being here as your natural lot, then such is your choice.
To tell the truth, I believe the only reason we still live down here is because of fusing and forging. We are now on the cusp of mastering a new type of magic, which there's been tales of other areas where magic is limited only to people who are casters. You are a combatant, correct?
Primarily, but I also have some talent in magic and prestidigitation. I'll sparks or little baubles or something just to show.
That's interesting. Would you be willing to spar?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Why not?
All right. So at that point, you guys clear off, and the two of you come over, and she shows exactly what forging is. All right. So if you would, go to your 2 forge pages, and she explains. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right. So you should have one that says forge sever in the right corner, and one that says pewter. Everybody has that? Okay. All right. And actually, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Grab your fuse page that says metal pool amount. One more.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. So what happens is, and of course she tells this to you, and so that she actually shows it to you. The two of you spar, and she shows you what she's able to do. So everyone here, they get Constitution time. They get a metal pool amount. They have a pool that they draw from. It's Constitution times 2, Wisdom times 2, and Level times 2, plus their birth. If they were born here on Thracion, it's 12. If they were born here on Aceion, it's 24. And if they were ground-born, which is only the most hardcore, it's women who actually have their babies on the ground, like in the dirt. Like it's really not healthy.
We all came from a different
right?
realm,
Yeah, exactly. So you would only have 12. They have 36 points, right? So it's a considerable amount of points, right? They draw from that. Now go back to the forge.
Now, is it a Constitution modifier or a Constitution score?
It's your Constitution score, so it's a lot, right? Because they use a lot of attacks per day. So what they do is when they attack someone, they gather. They actually pay an amount per. So what they do is they determine. So what they'll do is they would determine their attack, right? So if they wanted, they'll do all adjacent, which means they can hit every person who's adjacent to them. They can attack every person that's adjacent to them. They can do a blood pin, which is if they slash and they hit and a drop of blood drops onto the ground, that person is pinned within 5 feet of that drop of blood. They can have a twice strike, which gives them 2 strikes. They can attack twice, or they can attack 3 times. So they get one of each of these. So if they took thrice strike, right, and then went over to that's aluminum under attack, and then they went to force and they said 5d8, that would be 2. So thrice strike is 3 points for DC.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then their force would be 5d8. That'd be 2. They'd be up to 5, right? Then they could take an effect, and let's say they did glint, which is re-rolls 1s and 2s, right? So then that would be 3 more, right? So they'd be up to 8. They'd have to roll an 8 on their forge roll, and then their last one would be a resistance and a vulnerability. So they could say, I'm going to gain myself for the next round resistance to anybody of lawful good, or they could say, I'm going to give vulnerability to this elf I'm about to attack, to this attack. Right? And that would be 2 more, so that'd be 10. They would need to roll 10, and the pool they would do that from would be their symbol pool. So if you look at fuse, under fuse, the same one under metal pool amount, symbol pool, they would draw from a temporary tattoo they have that would give them a d6. They would draw, their weapon would give them a d10. Their structure. Oh, by the way, if they're in a structure, if they're in a building that has this symbol, the symbols carved onto it, it would give them additional D10. Environment, that is the ground itself. There are areas where they've actually dug up and burnt like the symbol into an area, and that would give them a D12. You can ingest vials, which you can ingest vials of shavings, which gives a D8, and the last is ancient shackles, which is. So ancient shackles it's how many generations it's gone back, which right now it's only there. So this actually came from a more primal version of it that goes back 3 generations. So some of them have ancient shackles, and so they're even stronger. And they would have that pool. So for fusers, they almost always make their ability. They almost never miss their ability to do whatever they're trying to do, but they burn the points they have for the day from their pool amount. The amount is per day, and then the same. So she just showed you, and so what she does is she pulls together. So she does like 5d8 worth of damage. She does a blood pin, and she gives vulnerability to your human race, and then does lifesteal to gain the back, and then she draws. She draws. So, actually, she asks for permission to strike you. She promises she won't kill you.
Come with
I'll
me.
play along. Sure.
There you go. All right. So she hits you with 5d8. She does about 30 points of damage.
Okay.
And you can see that she gains all that back. So essentially, their swordsmen craft spells with their sword every time they swing, and the fusers do exactly the same with magic. The fusers the fusers actually do. The fusers, it's even more crazy. So with this fusers, they determine their target. They determine. I got 3.
No, this metal pool amount, does that have to do with forging, or is that only with fusing?
Oh wait, let me see your fuse pages real quick. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure I completely.
So all right. So there's 2 forms of magic. The forgers are they all use swords or ranged weapons, right?
How about great axes?
Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely.
cool. Just making sure.
Yeah. It takes 4 symbols, and you would be able to do exactly the same thing. All right, and then so the fusers, what they do is they get an invocation. So they determine if invocation time would be 10 minutes, 1 minute, next turn, or this turn, and the action's free. Then they determine how far the range is. 5 feet up to their site, a day's walk, a kingdom, or a plane. That would be the range. And actually, that's the same for area of effect. And then,
So they can actually
I'm going to tell you why.
Fireball the whole plane.
Yeah, you'll see why in a minute. All right. So, and then
permanent. Okay.
Duration is instant, minute, day, season, and permanent. And then
Permanent, the whole plane,
yeah.
fireball.
Well, you're gonna see why it's that powerful in 1 second. And then the target is one creature, allies in sight, creatures less than your level, enemies in sight, and army. Here's the only issue: when you use up your pool, when you reach the last of your pool for that day, you roll 2d20, and this is you roll 2d20, right? And you determine your numbers. So you call out 7 and 13. If you roll 7 or 13, you drop to 0, and your death saves start immediately. Every single one of the top rung for fusers requires that test. So routinely, they take a 1 in 400 chance of dying. Yep.
If you roll a 7 and a 13?
So you call it out each.
You
so
pick.
you
Yeah,
pick.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
4. Okay.
Yep. Exactly. So she explains all this, right? You guys, and so this is like day 2 or 3. You guys have been here and you're learning from each other, right? They show you all of this. They show you the spells. They show you the forging, all of it. The one thing they also say is that when you begin, you are bound to an implement or you are bound to a weapon. If you once you take and this is going to be well, we'll get into. You got to hold off because you two are weird, and we'll get there in a minute.
We're a little weird.
All right. If you take an implement and then you grab a weapon, the death save infects immediately. So you have a 1 in 400 chance of going into your death saves immediately. So that's all right, and yeah, that's not a problem. So what you guys would be able to choose from either side, right? You would only be able to forge. You don't have what you needed to. You don't have any caster level. What is your
sorcerer?
I got 2 levels of sorcerer.
You can choose. You
So
have
I
the
can
ability to
choose?
choose. Where are you at?
I'm all caster.
You can only fuse. You do not have the ability to choose forging. And you are psychic, which means that you can choose.
Well, he's also bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So once you choose one, you can never do the other without. You could try it, but you immediately affect that death save. Right?
Would it be just the first time you tried it, or would it be every time you use the ability?
The death saves come into effect every time. So if you choose an implement,
Yep.
every time you choose a weapon and try to forge, it would immediately trigger.
So say I forge.
Right, and you only forge. You're going to be able to forge all day long, and only when you cap out and use your last point will you have to make that death save. That's the only time per day.
But if I want to try to fuse, I would make the death save every time I did it.
No, right, yeah. If you were a forger and you tried to fuse, you would make it every time.
Got it.
Exactly. Yep. So they go through all this with you, and now also, but then they tell you the bad thing, right?
Right.
Right.
You told us all the great stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the 1 in 400 chance of dying.
Yeah.
That's what we're
So
saying.
here is, yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing pretty okay. All right. So they come forward and they say, okay, we have questions for you. One, now you guys, do you show them what you do?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Sean.
Absolutely. Okay.
I'm gonna make a good
they are
impression.
stunned and fascinated because they've never seen anything that you've done before, right? And they're like, wow. You can also see there's a lot of worry that's starting to slip into because they understand that you arriving here means that the world could change very, very soon, right? You know, like that. Their issues with the Grey Riders might not be the biggest issues they have. There's an entire continent with a completely different magic system than them, which they really weren't aware of. And so
But they were aware of
they were aware of Olmir, but yeah, but they had no idea
As it was before.
that one they're
years ago.
alarmed by your magic as you are by theirs, you know, or they're shocked by it. So one of the things they say, so everything's been going great and our cities have been doing well, except we've recently had a significant problem. Let me give you the fuse pages.
Termites.
Teleporting
No.
thief.
Yeah, there's your fuse pages.
I took them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Do you need that one, or do you already have it?
I think
You have it. You have it. Yeah,
7
you're good.
pages,
You're good. All right. Okay. So here's what they say. The last part is we've everything has been going great, but we've recently come into a problem. So I told you about So we wish to teach you, but you need to know the full truth before you make any choices. So
350.
yeah. So here is the full truth. We have had much peace among our people for quite some time. And I need to find that page with those.
So we're
There
looking
we
to
go.
wage war
Right.
on foreign people.
But we have recently had a serious problem, and that is that problem has come from Aramont. And Aramont is a fuser. He is a caster. He is an incredibly powerful caster. And he actually, so while forging is done by forgers, it's not created by forgers. It's created by fusers, right? And what he did is this last one, this resistance and vulnerability, this last symbol, it's chromium. He discovered it and he added it. These 14 cities have been at peace for well over 13 years. We share the following. We always help any refugees who come in. And so we receive them and we feed them out of what is in our own cities. And then, so they collectively take in the overflow from any cullings or any even close to cullings. They collectively set up the portals. Okay, they work on the magic together. But what they have never done before is they've never collected gold. Well, what happened with Aramont is Aramont has, I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. It's Quaizel. His daughter is named Aramont. So there's a fuser named Quaizel. My apologies. So Quaizel has a blind daughter, and her daughter cannot learn fusing the way any other daughter can. And the reason why is the colleges that teach it, and they actually go from city to city, are not equipped to teach her because she's blind. And so he has asked all 14 of the cities to take in a small 1,000 gold per year. So 1,000 gold per year to actually build a college where any child that had any type of unusual aspects to them, that they were not a normal child and they would have to be taught differently, could be taught at this. So essentially,
was she born blind or did she become blind?
She was born blind, right? And so he says. So she is, and so essentially he wants a tax. He requested a tax from all 14. Councils voted on it. Only 4 towns said yes, 8 said no. He has given the chromium symbol to 4 towns, and now the other 8 are fighting over that chromium symbol. And so there have actually been attacks by masked rebels from town to town going through
to
the
gain
portals.
access to this.
Yeah. And also they've started to set up shop in, and one more thing you guys did not know about that I wanted to tell you about right now is how they deal with their trash. So their trash is very unusual, and they actually dump all of their trash into a forsaken realm, a gray realm where nothing lives. And they actually have a portal where they dump all their trash. They send all their smoke into it, everything. So it's literally a wasteland.
The Adiug living
there. Yeah, exactly.
My experience with Forsaken Realms and places that nobody lives.
At this point in time, I will volunteer the information that the powers that the light grants to me allows me to heal.
He'll blind us, and like Osmander and Gryon both laugh.
And yes,
you think you could heal Quaizel's daughter?
If she was born with it, I don't know if it will work. But if someone were to blind you with magic, or cut your eyes in such a way that natural healing would not restore it, my magic would.
Perhaps you can cut her eyes out and replace them.
Oh dear.
Gryon goes,
So,
but Osmander's like, what?
So I would be completely willing to see if my magic could restore her.
Can we go in the morning? What you're saying is that you could end a battle which has been raging for 14 months, if it were.
Potentially. I don't.
If that is the only reason for such a conflict.
Yeah, who knows? In more hushed tones, I say, who knows? The gods of this land may have afflicted her themselves. But I say this kind of away from.
There's another measure we could take as well, but what he's not trying to cure her. He's trying to set up this school for people like her.
That's true.
Just because she gets cured doesn't mean
Osmonder says you are correct. He is outraged that the 8 cities would not give up even 1,000 gold per year to help
What
people
kind of
other
a
than
burden
who are
is
not
1,000 gold in these lands?
Oh, it is considerable. It is a lot. We do not get much gold. It is, and the biggest issue is we burn it. So, like, yeah. So
if you didn't live underground, would it still be as big a burden?
She says, I will tell you something that is really shocking to us. Less and less people talk about living above the ground anymore.
Is that because they're afraid to, or because they've come to enjoy being underground?
It is because of this.
And
most of the people here are completely inundated in building this new form of magic.
I have a
Can
question.
it not be built above ground?
It is a good question. We do not. We found it here, so I believe it is possible it would work above ground. We have never used it on any of the Grey Riders. Yes.
The catfolk, how wealthy are they?
They have gotten quite a bit of gold recently, because one of the things is they have 5,000 people, and almost all the gold they get is going straight to Darsa, and he does everything. He makes sure everybody gets food. They have a considerable amount. They could easily.
They gave us each
I can tell you right
1,000
now.
plat, so.
Yeah, they could easily muster 200 or 300 grand.
Well, would they consider 14,000
funding it?
gold pieces a year?
It's interesting. So she
A
says,
fair price for living.
We also did
here.
the math, and with 14 cities, it would only be about 357 people per city.
so it could easily absorb them.
Yeah.
Wow. But they'd have to live underground, or
Cats
I
don't like
kill all the,
I
or
have-
you'd have to go to war with the Grey Riders.
I'm
one or the
seeing.
other.
I have a vision.
Well, they couldn't just like be above ground. They're cat people. That's like nature-y.
I kind of have
Well,
a
no,
vision
that's my point.
here.
If you bring them over here, it's going to be war with the Grey Riders. If
Wait,
they
wait,
live
wait.
above ground.
My
They can
friends,
live
I-
under, no problem.
I think we have the strength here to bring these people back to the light, bring our friends to this land, and alleviate everybody from the oppression of the Grey Riders.
And everyone knows I'm a druid. Everyone knows cats and dogs do not like each other. This could not be a more perfect alliance for you.
It is most interesting. She says, I do wish to consider this, but I am a personal friend of Quaizel, and while I know he has fought for months to bring the other cities to time, it would mean a great deal to him if you could heal his daughter.
I will try. It is within my power. I just don't know whether, what causes the affliction to know whether my magic will.
Well, your
I'll do
magic
it.
aside, we have the means to restore sight.
All right.
Osmonder is the leader of this town.
That sword
right?
will
This underground
restore
town.
her sight.
Oh.
So, like, when we finish this, what I'm trying to convey, what I'm thinking is, like, I'm searching for honor. That's my premise here. I feel like Belagar feels like we have the pieces we need to meet our commitment to the cat people, and I see this as an avenue to do that. Like, I can relieve them of this oppression. I want to kind of make that presentation to her and say, what is your strategic plan? What are your forces? I'm a soldier by trade. I can train you. I can work with you, sort of thing. And
She says, one, you are a good combatant. I've seen that in your sparring. But I pose this to all of you now. You have power that we have never seen before. We have power that you have never seen before. We have an opportunity right here to be the only people to try to have both. Do you wish to learn forging? You could certainly lead my people if you knew how to forge.
I would absolutely love to learn forging, and if it helped me relieve the oppression of the Grey Riders, I would absolutely use it.
I would be
above
inclined as
ground.
well.
So
What
all
they
right.
do to you is absolutely obnoxious.
So you two. So then here's a question: does anybody at the table not wish to learn the other system?
Well, he can only learn fusing.
Right. Correct.
Yeah,
So-
and I'll choose
But
forging.
it will change you. So you'll be one of the only people on Thracion that knows how to fuse and knows how to use normal spells. The other issue is, once you guys go down this road, you will open up normal magic on Aceion if it works. You guys don't know if it's going to work or not. But there's no one here, and so you're now cracking a can on war between two continents, and you're about to give them the casting you
So
have.
would I have the geopolitical insight to really get that?
Great question. Yeah. What's your intelligence?
It's awesome 10. I'm not sure that I would get that, so that's not really a consideration for me.
So you're like, yeah, forwards, let's do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
To me, it's a weapon. I can use it. I can train it. Let's go.
My magic comes with a devotion.
Yep.
And
and if they don't have that, it won't work for them.
If you're not willing to pledge to that, then it's meaningless.
And my magic, one of them, it comes from the devotion to a higher power. The other comes from a devotion to an evil SOB in the lower planes. So it's like, do you want to sell your soul, or do you want to...
You're going to teach them how to sell their souls?
Yeah.
So that's a yes on both you guys. It's a yes there. What's your answer?
Yeah.
I can show you, I can teach you to wield magic like the Grey Riders.
And so at this point, Grion comes over and he says, I know the weight of this decision. And he says, I appreciate that you are willing to teach us as we are willing to teach you. He says, you will be opening up spellcasting that has never been seen on this continent. I thank you personally.
You're welcome. I actually never agreed to become a fuser yet, but I'm willing to teach people the way of the druid.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So you're going to teach them spells. That's a great point.
I'm going to teach them a religion.
That's kind of the thing, right?
Oh,
religion,
I'm a druid,
so that's
natural religion.
Whoa,
like
that is.
I don't think they're gonna like the hippie stuff.
All right,
it's gonna sound Grey Riders.
And your sorcerer is all inherent,
by the way,
like innate. So there's no teaching there. You have it or you don't.
Grion comes over and he says,
"It's by injection. It's by injection only."
I do not believe what you practice should be taught to anyone here. Because from what you have told me, you are the only one on Olmir who practices this. Is this correct?
From what I understand, that is true.
He says, we will teach you anything you wish to learn, but I would request you be reserved and not bring what you have here.
You shut your
Well, you could teach them the fa la la.
Now you can be offended because that might be offensive to you. You are a purple unicorn, right? There's nobody that does what you're doing on Thracion.
Yeah, I guess not.
He was alarmed because these guys have said, "Oh, there's hundreds of people or even thousands who do what we do." You're like, "I'm the only one who does this." And then you also told him about the gates and
Oh yeah, the astral gates.
Yeah. And he's like, so he's quite alarmed.
Well, I understand it is not for the weak-willed or the faint of heart. I will keep my my abilities in. It is very difficult to learn as well, so I do not think I have enough time anyway.
He says, can we honor you by teaching you either of the...
I am interested in this fusing that you speak of.
He says, thank you.
I will
and thank you for
at
not
the very
being offended.
At the very least, I will add it to my collection of information and knowledge.
Excellent. All right. So, as soon as Grion comes and he actually talks to Osmonder, because Osmonder wants to take you to Quaizel the next day, right? He says, this is more important. We need to trade this information. It'll change the continent. And so at that point, he says, we are going to take you there, and we're going to do it in 6 weeks. And right now, we're going to spend the next 6 weeks learning this.
Okay.
Right? And so that's what happens, right? So here's what happens. You guys now, you are able to use the fusing tables, right?
Okay.
The 4 pages. And actually, go ahead and give me. You can keep the other ones. And then you two have to choose. What are you choosing?
Forging.
Oh, I'm going Forge as well.
Forge. Forge.
Yeah, I'll choose.
And what are you doing?
With my
Nothing.
I'll learn to fuse.
All right, you're going to learn to fuse, and Grion is excited, and they each bring in one additional person from the village, and actually they bring in one additional people from other cities as well, and so you each guys have it's a go across, right? They are extremely right. They're extremely happy about all of it, right?
Nice. I have an acolyte.
And at that point, the 6 weeks. So here's what happens. In that 6 weeks, you all level. A traditional level, 1 level, okay? You now have access to these sheets, right? And then also, you actually go up with one of the hunting bands. Each one of you takes turns with the hunting bands, and they show you how they avoid the Grey Riders, how they know where they are, and all the things they do to manage the Grey Riders. And you can tell they spend a lot of time on it, right? And when you're up there during the day, you actually look, you go away and you have an arrow, a bow and arrow, and you're hunting, and Lady Tajel comes over in full, in the middle of the day,
with
full
a suit.
cloak,
All right, great.
and you guys go for a day walk together.
Oh, excellent.
And
What are they
she,
wearing?
and she talks to you.
I made her a special suit
Yeah, that she can walk.
that
in.
absorbs light.
And so from that time on, you guys walk about once a week. during the day. You take these day walks. And
For some
she's
reason,
really
I'm
happy
picturing
about it. She's
Justine
completely-
suit.
And it's also weird because she's completely cloaked in black.
It's a cloak. It's a cloak.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I couldn't allow for any stretching because light might
So
get through.
have they ever actually fought the Grey Riders?
No, there's never been any contact between them and the Grey Riders ever.
So I had to make sure to tell her of my adventures and all the things that we were learning about the fusing and the forging.
And so she tells you about the villages she's been seeing, and the villages, one of the things she sees is like, it really is like a third world country. Like, they are just, like, the people who live on the surface, who are not, the Grey Riders are lovingly embraced by Aceion itself.
They get everything. Yeah.
Right, exactly. The like berries fall off the trees into their mouths. The Aceion itself loves them, right? But the other villagers, it's the worst. Like, their metals are terrible. They're like, their governments are all different. They all speak different languages. It's just horrible. It's like a third world country. All right, so
I just say, there's all this interesting metal. Have you found anything interesting? That I know you said you were going to collect some of those bluish discs.
Right, absolutely. I
and
have
everything.
found. She says, you're right. The metals here are incredible. And at that point, she brings for you an unknown metal. So she gives you nigrosil. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. Did I use nigrosil? I don't believe I have. Yeah, so she gives you nigrosil, which is this one.
Aluminium.
Yeah. And by the way, you're the only one of the cities have it. You're the only one with nigrosil. You can keep that to yourself, or you can give it to them. Your choice.
I'll
Right.
say like, this is amazing.
Right,
Where did you get this? And
She
what
goes,
is it?
I have found underground caverns. She says they're actually pretty terrible. There's these underground caverns that go and children get lost in them, and then they send down people, and people get lost in them. And there's a lot of corpses in them. And she says they're near certain areas, and this certain area, and she says, by the way, I just so you're aware, like any world, there are criminals here. I mostly feed on criminals and people who do terrible things, and I'm very careful about my feeding. But I'm also drawn to dark places, and I've found these tunnels where they're filled with corpses every 2,000 or 3,000 feet, and everybody who goes down dies because you get lost completely. I'm able to find my way without any problems at all, but most people,
You, like myself, have a very keen mind.
Yes, indeed. Right? She says, if you ever want to go there or see it, just let me know.
I would be very interested in seeing it.
Yeah, right.
Have you by chance had
Let me know. Let me know when we can take a day trip there.
Have you ever had a criminal record? Just so I know. Just so I'm aware.
Yeah.
'Cause
All
I'm
right.
only feeling criminal.
So 6 weeks go by. You guys are fully trained, and Osmonder is ecstatic because she goes, "It's the day. We're gonna go heal Quaizel's daughter." And she says, "I've been a good friend with Quaizel for a long time. I think he was completely wrong not to share the chromium with everyone, but I respect him as a friend. And if you can heal his daughter, it will be a huge move. She said it could bring peace, right? All right, go ahead."
Surprisingly, Ted, I did not see a spell that actually healed the natural blindness.
Lesser Restoration says it can remove a condition, one of which is blind.
So,
Really? Because the Greater Restoration skips over that fact, and so does heal. None of the other ones say it.
Lesser Restoration. You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition affecting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. I read it before I said something.
is a natural blindness considered a condition?
I don't know. That's going to be for him to decide.
Well, that's my question.
So I have a question. And this is the question that's really important, I think.
So did you tell us about the luck blade?
Well, what it does?
Oh yeah, everybody
Yeah.
knows. Yeah, none of that stuff was hidden, right? It was yeah.
Well, you said I didn't need to identify it. I thought I needed to identify it.
I said I didn't want you to burn your identify spell stuff, but identify all that. Everybody knows about the luck blade.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're holding it.
Then everybody knows
Yeah.
about it.
So, Scott,
Alright.
let me back up for a quick second. So,
Yes.
So you could use the
to
luck blade to
initiate
cure
the
her.
forge
Yeah, I
attack,
could do that.
like,
Yes.
do I need a material or something? Like, do you
No,
need...
it's a great question. So you actually now have a tattoo on your
What's
neck,
that?
Switched.
Okay.
It's like
right?
a spell, right?
And
Oh, yeah.
and
Any
that's
spell
all that's
of eighth
needed.
level or lower
And
you
then
can
actually
use.
your blade now has these symbols carved into it.
Oh, so
Or,
it has
just a
durable
functional
them.
Yep.
Wish I
All
would say.
carved into it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And basically they light up as you activate what you're going to activate.
And then would they go on top in lieu of my attack, or do they modify
It's a good question.
my
So
attack?
you do actually take your attack normally, but everything you use fuse on, you get you don't get advantage. You get a +2. So you get a +2 to hit the moment you use even any of them.
Okay.
And then you are burning points from your pool. So and you're almost always going to make so it's very easy to make the difficulty for those spells because you have so many points. But we'll get into that because you'll use it in a minute. And so yeah.
So I still need my 78 points or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So like, okay, so if I wanted to use to do 5d8 damage, the DC would be 2.
2. Exactly.
So then I would need to roll. I would use 2 points.
Right.
And then make my normal attack. If my attack succeeds, it does the 5d8 damage.
Yep.
Instead of the 1d12 damage.
Right.
Oh.
Exactly.
Shit.
And you could choose one from each symbol. So you could do like 4 things with every attack. And you could change what you do on every attack.
The metal pool works for both things.
Yes, exactly. Forging it. But as you can see, those guys have it a lot easier. You guys actually, it takes more to fuse something than it does with that.
Forge
The
it.
biggest thing about fusing...
I'm a forge.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
So
yeah.
I have
yeah.
the same pool, right?
Right,
2,
same pool.
If we're going
Exactly.
to.
Oh, there's one thing with your character, and this was really important. Does Alistron believe he can heal her?
Yes.
Absolutely. So and you're right. So one, to tell the truth, the biggest issue is going to happen is you're going to get there, and you're a paladin. You're going to call on your god, and that's what's going to decide. I mean, so especially for something like this that's off the grid.
You're his god?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're right. You don't know. And I think that's great for a paladin to go somewhere to heal somebody, and they don't know if it's going to work. And so it's just going to come off.
To my knowledge, I have the ability to restore sight.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I don't.
All right. So at this point, you guys you are brought to Quaizel's city, right? And Quaizel is in Vicmord. And so you guys are brought to Vicmord, and you are brought, into the city, and you're being escorted. And please place yourselves all here, if you would. Place yourselves in this room here.
Are any of my retainers willing and able to actually learn stuff?
Absolutely. And you can set yes, so you can choose what they learn. Well, they're both combatants, right?
Yeah,
so
they would be. They're not going to fight in combat.
Absolutely, yeah.
But if they whatever they have interest in,
they came here for a good reason, and yeah, absolutely. All right, and there we go. Okay.
If they're uncomfortable with the lion, I can
no
whisk him away.
No. Absolutely, they're not. They know you guys are safe, and actually, Quaizel is extremely excited. So actually, I'm just gonna for time. So this is Quaizel, and this is his daughter, and they are and you guys are entering, and so there's portals are all over these places, right? So portals are really big, and they're all over, right? And so this is Quaizel and his daughter, and then let's get into it.
So I don't know what that
Go ahead. What's the question?
microsil does.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
Did I think it was wise to tell anybody I had that?
Oh, actually, it's a big. Well, let me put it this way. Right?
He's actually. I mean, there's a fight started just because he won't give out chromium.
Right. The last time. That's exactly right. So there was 13 years of peace.
Chromium?
So so there's 13 years of peace, and then one metal was discovered, and there's been 14 months of war. or battles. They're not in a full war. They're battles. There's.
And she just handed me something.
Sparked. Yeah. And she's like, oh, here's a new metal. Right. So you're like, maybe this isn't the best time to tell them yet. Yeah. But you can if you want to. It's totally
I've
up to
got
you.
it in the portable hole.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've got
You
it.
could always wish to identify it. Not to give you ideas.
No.
Not a good useful wish.
So, and then what do? Yeah, perfect. All right. Yeah, if you would help me.
Sure.
All right. Start these guys that are this large.
Okay.
And you can see that there's more white on the bottom.
Okay.
And just place them right in there.
Okay.
And you do those. I'm gonna do the small ones.
Just put them inside.
Yep. Thank you.
And we get our points back daily. Right?
Are all these things
Daily.
going up?
Daily. Is it
Are all these things
daily.
going up?
After a long rest.
Long rest? That's
Yep.
Are all these things going up?
Long rest.
No, not all of them. You could help me with the small ones. That would be helpful. And they're right here. The bases are right there. Thank you. That's enough of the big guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be right back.
Brazilian. That sounds like a good game.
Brazilian.
All right, so I took my next level in Paladin.
Uh-oh.
What is all this stuff?
I'm gonna take mine in fighter.
Great question. You're about to learn in about 30 seconds. As soon as we get them set up.
Yeah, I think I'll have a 20 charisma now. Thank you very much.
One.
It's gonna be a while before that happens to me.
I think you bet having a 16 con and getting like another ridiculous number.
So this becomes 30.
All right. We're good. Okay. So at this point, actually Osmonder comes over and she actually takes the daughter and these two embrace and these guys move over. Right? And she brings Osmonder's daughter Aramont to you. And and Quaisel says, "You are a paladin?
I am indeed.
So you serve one deity."
I serve the light. I serve the holy goodness, however you wish to describe it.
Beyond Aceion itself. We believe there is a deity beyond Aceion itself.
I've traveled through several realms. Each one holds its own set of gods and beliefs.
So he says,
wherever I travel,
he says, as a fuser, I have done much to advance fusing. It is a task of intellect. And he says, it is hard for me to believe what you are saying. But you have come here, and you are not even of our land. And your willingness to come here and try this is quite moving to me. I thank you with all my heart, and if you can heal my daughter, I will forsake all of my intellectual pursuits, he says, for even one day for sight for her. And he says, please attempt to heal her.
You need not forsake anything. I give of myself. It is part of my upbringing, my training. It is a path that I walk.
Right. Now, like he said, there's really now you're saying you think lesser restoration would do it, right?
According to the rules as written, it restores blindness.
So here,
it is a rules call on you.
Yeah. So here's the issue. I feel that is how your character will attempt, and that will be your call upon your god, because that's the way you call upon your god all the time.
I'm going to cast the spell.
To me,
lesser
this is going 95% off your faith for something this integral to the story. I do believe that there should be a die roll based on your loyalty to your deity as a player. Only a 1 will stop you from healing her. You roll a d20. If you roll anything but a 1, she's healed of blindness. Good luck.
So I call upon the light, and I'll go into prayer. I'll actually add a little bit more to it, calling upon the light and the goodness. Over the course of the last 6 weeks, I will have inquired as to the nature of this girl. What she wants to do, what she's got the ability to do, and I'll list all the good qualities, and I'll put it in there. For my invocation, that's a 16.
All right. So at that point, you walk forward, and you speak to her, and you just walk forward, and you put your hand on the side of her face, and you close your eyes, and then the two of you open your eyes together, and she could see you, and then she turns to her father, and she looks at him, and she goes, your beard is so long.
Well,
And he
the
just
first,
like,
that's the first thing she sees is my glorious 19 charisma.
That's good. That's awesome. That's good. All right, yeah, you're imprinted on her now. You can control her like a raptor. All right, so one, and like her father, he just melts, right? And he's just like, I can't believe it, right? And immediately the attacks begin from all of the invisible people in the room.
Oh
no!
Immediately.
Of course.
But he knew about that. Yeah. Didn't you say you had alertness?
Oh yeah, if they were invisible, well,
you just
they're
don't
not
get surprised.
hiding. Yeah, I'm not getting surprised, so
Right.
I wouldn't roll.
So-
they wouldn't have advantage on me, so I wouldn't necessarily know they're there.
Part of
So
my
the
character.
moment they move, you actually hear plate mail move, right? And you actually will get an attack on. We're about to see. So I read invisibility. It's hard to understand how you guys attack invisible. It's certainly with
I have a
disadvantage.
few
right?
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see through darkness. Like I have devil sight.
I thought it was like
Right.
super cool.
And then
inside.
also 20. It is a 25 insight. All right, or insight check. Very, very difficult. You all get to try it. There's a so one. Wait. Let's stop right there.
Okay.
Does any players know how you can see these guys? And what I would tell you is look at your sheets. Fuse.
Robovise. That's the only thing I'm aware of.
What's that?
Robovise is the only thing that I'd be aware of.
I'm
can
saying
dispel
look at your
magic.
sheets.
I could.
Oh, I'm saying look at your fuse sheets.
Oh, I can't fuse. I don't know.
Well, you have the fuse sheets though.
I don't even
you,
understand
You have been
fuse.
learning them.
Oh yes, looking at the fuse seats.
Yeah.
So we have these points, and we have the ability to add the points under DC to our stuff, to add that much extra stuff.
So actually, right now what we're dealing with is only what would allow you to see these guys.
Okay, well,
we'll get into
I got
casting
nothing.
in one moment. That's fine. All right, so that's good. That's good. It's
area
totally
of-
not intuitive.
an area
You
of
can make an
effects.
insight at a 25. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, right.
I have a 24, so just barely.
You have a
At
24.
20, 26, 27.
You got it. All right.
So insight.
I can't, even if I can't get no matter what I do. So
Well,
Yeah.
with the die roll, you
27.
can.
All right.
I can't.
27. You got it too.
Yeah.
I'm not proficient in it.
Oh, you know that's right. I'm not either. But a natural 20 always succeeds.
Oh well, in that case, I might as well roll. And I got an 8, so
Not a natural 20.
not been my day for
So-
dice.
Let's see. I am also not
I'm
proficient.
thinking.
So
I'm
So
gonna
Nate
take
and I suck.
luck.
I have a
Or
20.
Insight
All
What
right.
did you need?
25.
25. Yep. Don't get it, and you did not get it correct.
So my,
All right.
my character's thought process on the whole girl being blind, she was born that way. The gods chose her to be blind.
And the god chose to
My
restore
god
her.
would probably not.
Not have healed her.
No.
Good thing you worship different.
Yeah.
All right,
You
so-
don't believe she would have. That is
Yeah.
why you fail.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I didn't.
Why you fail.
I didn't fail. I didn't try.
I know what you mean. Yeah. All right. So yeah.
So nobody passed, right?
All right. That,
No,
these
no,
two
we
did.
did. We
You
did.
guys
And
did.
so you guys paid attention in class, and you know that there are times where people use different metals to do different effects, especially through fusing. And one of them was, you remember them telling a tale where they used it to become invisible, and the only way you could see them was to ingest a vial of their specific metal. So you guys are carrying metals of everything that's known, right? But actually, you would have to take an action each turn
To figure out which
ingest-
metal it is.
to ingest the
Unless you
metals.
got lucky.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Can we make an intelligence check to see if we remember
Well,
which one?
So right now we're going into initiative, and so you guys are going to swing in the dark, or you might do different stuff.
Oh, I swing
But
in
let's
the dark
do it.
always.
Yeah. All right.
You swing in the dark anyways.
All right.
Make darkness and just stand in front of them.
Yeah. Well, because then we're in equal footing because we both have disadvantage to attack.
crap,
them.
nuggets.
17.
So they're by definition hostile then?
So you just heal there. We're all hanging out. And then
God.
We,
these
we,
guys teleport in, or
No,
do they
no,
go
no,
like a
they
They
pop?
came in through a teleport. You're correct.
All right,
They have
okay.
come
I'm
in through a
gonna take.
teleport.
all right, so the D8 is her, correct?
The D8 is who?
This is the girl.
No. Actually, so Quaizel and the girl, they're completely on your side. These are rebels.
No. Where is the girl that I just healed?
She's right there.
Hey, I
Right next to
rolled
you.
a worse initiative
And this is
than last
Quaizel, her
time.
father. And then these are all
Level one.
shrouded rebels who
I
are
rolled a
attacking.
2, so I get a 7.
Because you guys are bringing peace, and so they don't want peace.
All right. What is beyond here?
So actually, 10 feet out of this room is a portal.
Savage attacker.
Is a portal back to where you guys, the city you came from.
So we should probably
We could just
do a
withdraw.
fighting retreat.
Right. All right. So and hold on, I got.
I got some metal.
Sorry.
So
You want to fight?
Well, I mean, get the girl and the guy out.
So since I go on the 1, I won't be reacting to anything for quite a while. In the suspense, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you guys will probably run by me first anyway.
There
we get to do anything.
Yeah.
So I've got.
What do you guys have?
A 2.
Oh, 3.
7.
We are okay.
We were the champions last.
Apparently, this guy has to be the one to save the day at a 17.
Yeah, I would say so.
And
So,
You gonna say, "Excuse me, miss," and whisk her away?
I'm gonna
12.
put her on
All
the
right.
line.
What do you got
Send the
for
lion back.
initiative, Belgar?
7.
Oh, that's rough, man. You go last.
Ryan has a
Or
1.
No, I
close
don't.
To, nah, yeah.
Ryan has a 1.
What do you got? He's got a 1.
Ryan's got a 1. I have a
1.
17.
A 2.
Dave has a 3.
You rolled poorly there, but you did not roll as poor as us.
Just say, I said, I'm not going last. I'm
Wow.
going second.
What's Liv got?
3.
But I'm at a 17.
Can we break that up and divvy it amongst the group?
And then Alistron has a 2, right? No, I'm sorry. What do you have?
I have a 17.
I am feeling a need for that +5 initiative feat.
All right.
I am
Now,
feeling
actually, because of your alertness, you actually go first. You ignore your 7. You can do whatever you need to do right now. The only thing, though, is all you know is there's sound in this area that shouldn't be there. What are you going to do?
The only thing I know is there's sound in that area that shouldn't be there. I can't see a thing. Can I tell based on the sound? Is it one thing? Is it many things?
You know there's at least 2 warriors there in plate.
Only 2 warriors.
At least 2.
At least 2 warriors.
Kill it fire.
So I'm thinking.
Detonate your jihadi kit.
All right, so you got to take action.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot my breath weapon just to see what happens.
Nice. Okay.
That might,
All right.
I'm not even gonna. It's a 30-foot range, right? So.
Yeah.
that might be fun to do.
All right. I'll count it out.
10, 15.
Yeah, just
20,
step beyond
25,
the.
Yeah.
So
up to here. You're
people
good.
there.
Everybody there.
Make sure you don't roast
And what's your
anybody.
cone?
Is it a cone or a line?
It's a line. It's
Line,
a.
you're
Oh no,
fine.
no. Is it a cone?
You're fine.
Don't roast
Should be.
anybody.
That's It's a line.
So you're gonna get.
So I'm gonna go up
You're gonna get this 5.
10. Yeah, and then
Oh, you can get 3 or. Oh yeah, I
I
see
can
what
get
you're
these
saying.
3 then, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so I'm gonna get those 3. What is it? Breath of so DC
you level?
is
No, I didn't.
8 plus con.
Have any idea what you're taking?
So DC
Well,
is.
so is this just a magic we stack on our what we got, or is it
Right.
levels?
So actually, you're doing it for the first time, right? So let's do it. All right. You're. Oh no, she's using the breath
I'm
weapon.
just
so
gonna
we
use
don't
my. I
even
can't
it.
see
You're
anything,
fine.
so I want to.
Give me your damage. I'll teach it to you the first time you use it.
Okay.
All right.
But I mean, is it a
4,
level-based
7,
thing? Like, do I
13.
gain levels
13.
using this?
Oh, no. Actually, we'll get into that.
Okay.
Let's disconnect from the level thing for a minute.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
get there. Go ahead.
13.
13.
13
Yeah,
damage.
they can save for half of the DC 16. Dex.
Okay. Dex save. Okay, good. All right. And what do they need?
16.
He needs a 9. All right. Yeah. So they all take it. And they're going to take 16 damage.
Yep.
All right.
And then I should be able to at least, whoever it hits, I should be able to see them, at least see it warping around them, right?
You're good.
So.
You're good. All right. So you hit them. You hear a shriek. All right. And so you guys know there's people there. And also, do you call out attackers? Because you're the first to know.
Yeah, there's attackers in the room.
Right.
And then.
Yep. All right. That was good. And next is so I think we go. So Reds go on 9. I don't think
I
any
go to
of you guys-
17.
He's a 17.
Go right ahead.
17.
Sorry.
All right. So I don't know what this is going
Right.
to take action-wise.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I'm telling those two they need to flee, but I want her
That's free. Go ahead.
to mount on top of Maggie,
Right.
and
He's going to take her out.
he's gonna get out.
Right. Now, actually, are you going to have him go through the portal to the other city?
That is.
You want him just
he
right
can
out-
talk.
Right? Do you want
So-
him right outside? Do you want him to leave outside the room, or you want him to go to the other city?
Get to there if she wants to be able to
She
the
can
portal
take her,
out.
yeah.
Go for it, but he's going with her.
He's good. He bolts. He easily gets her for safe.
And then I will position myself here so that I'm in between,
Right.
and then I'm prepared to deal with whatever.
Do you have inspiration?
I do not.
You have inspiration now because you didn't finagle a way to attack invisible people, and I really appreciate that.
I have no
Right,
idea
yeah,
where they would
exactly.
be. So
All right, so at this point, and that was, and so now my red and my reds go on 9, and my blues go on. They go on 11. So and I don't think any of you guys go. So they're all going to attack. Oh man, this is going to be ugly. All right, so I'm going to show you how Forged works. All right, so this guy comes forward. He's in plate, and he's not human. He's a creature. But
we hear the
yeah.
hear the movement.
Yeah, so it's a large, it's actually a large creature, and no, I'm sorry, yeah, medium large, and he is going to forge, and so I will show you how that works.
I'm sure it's gonna hurt.
Rather not.
AoE effects would be pretty nasty.
Yeah, so the idea here was I heard them, so I jumped in the room and breath weapon the first couple, just because I
So
shot it.
I can turn
to see
into
where
things
they
with
were.
blind sight and be able to hit or see them, but then my attack bonus will probably be too low to actually hit
There we
if
go.
they're in plate.
All right, so here's what they're going to do. All right, so the first thing they're going to do is they're going to bring their pool together. Okay?
Right.
They have a temporary tattoo. They know that, so they have a temporary tattoo. All right, so he's going to get a D6. All right, and then their weapon is going to give a D10. We'll just use this, and which is the D10. The structure is also marked for them because they were able to mark it beforehand because they were coming. So that's
They
going to give
planned
another
to show
D10. Thank you. All right, and then there's no environments. They've ingested nothing, and none of these guys have any shackles because they're not honorable. All right, so that's going to be, they have these dice to roll for their difficulty. So here's what they're going to do with what they're going to use the highest damage. He's going to use the highest damage.
7d12 for 4
Yeah.
boys.
These are both the same. Why do I keep having it wrong?
Now, because that's the highest, it invokes that death save thing, right?
Not for Forge, only on the Fuse side.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. The only time you invoke the death save on the Forge side is when you use your last point.
So you calculate your DC die,
Yeah.
then
Right,
you
so-
check what you're gonna do,
right.
then you roll your DC.
So they have a so it's going to be 7d12, and he's going for 4. He's going to use twice strike, okay, which is going to be 3 more, right? And then his effect is going to be, oh man, this is bad. He's going to use recall, which is a 0-1. You guys don't know about that yet. Well, if he cuts this person, he'll be able to call that person to him or call himself to that person. And then once they can do it once, and then he's going to give himself resistance to attacks from race 1, which is human. All right. So and then that's going to be 1 more. So it's going to be 4, 7, 8,
10.
and 10. Right. So he has to make a 10 with these dice. All right, so he's got 4, 1, and he fails. All right, so what that means is his attack is per normal, right? So he is using a great sword, and he is rolling, and his attack is at a +7.
Wait, mental combatants
18. Does he
I
hit?
have a 19.
do not roll for initiative. Do we choose our place in initiative?
Exactly right.
Okay, I would have
Yep.
chosen to go way sooner than
All right, you can go. You can go. So that my one guy went. You guys are more than welcome to jump right in. You can go before them.
Oh, so you can kind of decide if you. Okay.
Forgers do not roll for initiative. They
Okay.
choose their
Nice.
place.
So I choose.
Yeah.
I went first anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
To go for it?
All right. So that was him. He missed. That's all he gets.
So
Oh no, he did twice strike.
He did
So
well, no, he didn't.
but it
but he
failed,
failed.
so it doesn't
failed,
get it.
yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So and then
All right, I
at that
kinda get this
point,
now.
but you just saw one forge, so that's how it works.
Okay.
But
So-
you guys will.
so you have-
next is you, Ryan.
one second.
Sure.
The DCs that you set by using this stuff have to be successful by that.
You have to use these dice to get it.
But it costs. How do you determine the point cost of what
The
you're
point
using?
is the difficulty. So he just blew 10 points.
Okay, so
from
he
his
blew
pool.
10 points and got nothing for it.
Right.
Oh, so you blow them
Okay.
even if you fail.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Whether you succeed or fail. Yeah.
So
Have you figured out your pool?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that somebody
should
was
be 80.
attacked.
You can attack
over
him.
here.
Yeah, you heard his.
no.
Yeah, you heard his.
Con times
You
two.
heard him swing,
what's that?
right?
Where's your stats?
And so you can attack him normally because he's
So your
already attacked.
Constitution
Is a 13. Is a
is
14.
a 14.
None of the rest
wait,
of
just
them.
wait, wait.
I can kind
So
of
14,
hear that there's
what's
Yes,
your
no
that's
word
true.
here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I am
that's
fireball.
That's
this
26.
section right
Yes.
there.
I'll allow it.
Plus my con
okay.
times 2 is 14. Is
Wait, wait,
Because
wait,
like
wait.
I know the edge
Yeah, you're
here,
totally
and like
good.
I try
Yes,
to.
yes,
26
Yeah.
plus the level is 1440. 80. Now you add your birth.
Borrow
So you're
Andrew
saying
dice
90.
tray.
92.
Wait. Say that again.
Oh, that's a
It's
good
your
roll.
Constitution,
All
Wisdom,
right.
and level times 2.
10.
Yeah.
Yours adds
So
up the same as mine. That's
20.
80. Then you add your birth,
33.
which is 12.
28 plus
33
28
points
plus 24
to
plus
this
28.
28,
33.
33.
And then your birth is 12.
But we're not building. I wasn't born with
And,
Thracion.
and these guys,
I
yeah.
thought it was Thracion.
So you
24,
hear
Aceions.
cries of pain.
Oh,
No,
okay.
none of us were born with
32?
33.
33.
We're all from another
Yep.
plane.
You're close. All right, so you just got them.
And I unsheath my sword.
yeah. You're
Right?
good.
None of us get the birth
oh.
bonus or points.
And actually,
No.
did you hit these guys or
Yes.
no?
Yeah,
Those
because
guys
I
as well?
basically sealed off this part of the room.
What did you do?
Fireball. So I think I can. Actually, I think I can get this whole section. Really.
So yeah, and actually these guys drop. They drop dead. And actually, can you reach this far or no?
Nah, that's too far.
Yeah, too far.
Think
All right, so
this-
all these guys,
yeah.
you hurt them badly. These guys fall unconscious or fall down, and they're now visible. You can see what they are. They look like everybody else, but they actually have tunics, and on their tunics, they have these symbols, right? And these specific symbols. And so also you have a better idea that there are definitely attackers here. All right, that was who are my? So he's gone. You've gone. Have you gone yet?
Yes.
Are you gone?
I'm 2.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I get to go?
Yeah, absolutely. You're a forger, right? Or
You're
a
at two.
fuser. You're a fuser.
I'm at
Fusers-
3.
What you are not a fuser, or
I'm
you
a
are?
fuser.
You are a fuser. So they're
You
gonna
got it easy.
Yep.
Forgers, fusers.
Yeah, you're right. So these guys are going to come forward. All right, so it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. All right. And these guys are 5, 10, 15, 20.
that one.
5, 10, 15, 20. And yeah. Oh, and that's okay. That's those guys. The girl's already out. And then 30, and then and then the rest of these guys.
All right, this is the old man,
It's
isn't
all
it?
going to block up.
Or is this the
No,
girl?
that's the fighter. The forger.
Yeah. And then these guys are all going to come in, but they do have ranges, so there'll be some of that. The big guys do not have ranges.
Yeah,
the
can I
smaller
forge
guys do.
can I forge a ranged weapon?
Oh, so you can do with a ranged weapon. You can only use 2 symbols. You can't do 4 things.
Okay.
You can only do 2. All right. And actually, so these guys are the only one who are actually in position. So these two, there's 2 guys who are in position to attack.
the weapon-
This guy missed. This guy can
with,
attack,
right?
and this guy can attack.
Just out of curiosity, is this information imparted
You have all
to
that
our
information.
all right. So
Except Nycrosil is not known yet.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Yeah.
You know, as I perceive this, I don't see that symbol anywhere on this.
That one is on there. It's brass, and it's right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
you're good. Yeah.
Also, like, I'm in no position to clearly see that from where I am. Like, know what's on the tunics or
So this guy's already going.
Yeah,
this guy is
I'm
going
right
to attack
here, so-
right here.
Yeah, you're right
All right.
there.
So he's going to try for you, and let's forge it up. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to.
So is he swinging at me?
Yes. And he's going to do twice attack. He's going to do
Let me have moved up
5d8.
just to be.
And he's
protected.
going to do, so that's 2, 5, and then he's going to do recall 6, and he is going to do 7, and he's going to call vulnerability against neutral good, which won't do any good against you, but
Right,
you know,
he
he's
doesn't do
trying. Yeah, exactly. So, and then he's going to use this. All right. I'm sorry. He's going to gather his pool, and so his pool is the same as the other guy. 2d. It's 2d6 plus 2d10. Okay. Yeah, that's right. And so he needs to hit a 7, and he's got it. All right. So he hits. All right. So the first thing he's doing is you're going to do 5d8. Oh wait, he's got to roll to hit you.
20.
Still got to roll to hit you. He gets the +2, and he's going to get his d6. All right.
Doesn't
Oh,
come anywhere
crap.
close.
All right, so and then here's his second.
Doesn't come anywhere close.
All right, and so he misses with both, and so obviously, if he doesn't hit, none of the things take
Right.
effect.
So now,
Right.
is this damage on top of your standard weapon damage?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. All right, and then this guy's going to do the same here at Belagar. All right, so he's going to take the same attack. And where's my d10? See, there's one, and thank you. So he's got it. He's able to do it. Here's his 2 attacks.
Are you neutral good?
Nope.
All right. Ooh, crit. And so one's a crit, and that's yeah. So crit is going to be a hit, and actually, so it's just 40 damage flat. So for these fusers, it's flat. He does all of it. So he's going to deal.
So you don't roll damage?
Not on a crit.
Oh,
Wait, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Hold on. What is
double-
what is normal?
double-
You double, right?
You double dice.
I'm sorry. Forget that. We go same as it was before. Sorry about that. I'm getting ahead of myself.
So I'm sorry, dude.
Ouch!
So when you crit and forge,
So 10d. I have to roll 10d8.
Oh!
there's some good numbers there. It's
Yeah.
19.
Oh, some bad
19,
numbers.
yeah.
These are very bad numbers for you.
19 plus 10. That's
20. Yeah, so 29, 39.
Yep.
Okay.
He's still going though.
Oh!
So
47.
39, 44, 47.
47.
Other
Okay.
than weapon damage.
All right. So that's 47, and then yeah. So
I
that's
would
him.
move up and attack, but the attacks
and
are
then
all
those 2 guys are done.
disadvantaged, So
Oh, and then he does not kill, but he strikes down Grion. Grion stumbles back, right? Doesn't kill him, but he and Grion kind of stumbles back.
Oh, that dude. Whoever did that is going to have some issues.
And then the rest, these guys want to attack, but they're so congregated up, they're not even going to risk it. So that's all there is for now. And we, and then you 2 guys. So we're about to do cast for the first time. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
How do I use this fusing stuff?
Yep. All right. So the
It's
first thing is I want you to do.
confusing.
A lot of it seems sight-based, and they're all invisible.
Yeah. So yeah, I hear you. All right.
So
So here's.
So you could just fire.
Fireball. Fireball's
I
gonna
know.
be
I
good.
know.
All right. Wait.
Fireball's
So
a
here's
really
what we're
good
gonna do. All right. So
That was my plan for next attack too, to just fireball, because they're in a cluster and
yeah.
I can't see
So the
them
first
to hit
thing you
them.
do is you gather your pool. Okay. So you have a temporary tattoo, which is D6. Okay. And you also have an implement. What is your implement? Is it a rod, a staff, or an orb?
I would probably use a staff.
Okay. All right. So you have a silver staff, which has all these things, which has all these symbols on it. All right. So you got it. So you have a D6 and a D10, and there's nothing here for the structure for you. And then that's it. You can ingest something.
And get a D8.
Yeah.
Are you?
if
You're a half orc, right?
Do you have a bonus?
No,
do you have
you're-
a bonus action?
You're an ugly half.
Do I have a
or
bonus
you-
action?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you can use that. You can use that to ingest. So you're going to use your bonus action to ingest. So you're going to get a D8. All right, now let's craft the first spell. Okay. So the first thing you do is you. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is how long you want this to happen instantly, right? You want to do this on this turn, correct?
Yeah.
Do
So
it. Do
that's
the
gonna
plane. Do the plane.
So that's going to be 4. That's going to be 4.
Let's see what happens.
All right. And then everything within your sight, right? And you can't see them. So you're correct.
What if I want to just hit the whole room? Like
Yeah, you want to do area of effect, which is fine because there is area of effect.
As long as it's fire, I'm
Yeah.
good with it.
Oh,
if I want to just hit this whole entire.
So if you look, it says range and area of effect. So
Yeah.
both. All right, so that's fine. So you can easily hit everything within a day's walk. So you can you can cover this room. You can do anything less than that. So you can cover the whole room. All right.
Plane.
So right now we're at 4, and day's walk is 3, and then and then the duration of how if you want to do damage, that's going to be instant, which will be you're up to 8, and then we'll do it simple, right? So if you want to do damage, you can do 2d6, 3d6, 3d8, 4d10, and it can be any type you want. Electric, choose whatever you want.
So
Fire.
now,
If he
so
doesn't,
does this mean I don't use a spell slot if I do it?
That's correct. And
What if
and,
I want to use it? Can I use it to augment a spell slot?
well, so no, they don't work together. Here's another thing. You can say, I want to turn all their armor to water. You can do things that there's no spell for, and that comes off of effect unique. And if it's something you've never done before, it's a 5.
Yeah.
So why don't you turn?
And
all
that's
of
the
their
real.
armor into
And by the way,
molten lava?
that's important. That's going to be the important thing when you guys take back and you're telling Darcia, you're going to say they can cast spells we've never seen.
That wasn't a suggestion. That was a really strong suggestion. Like melting lava would be awesome.
Right? Yeah, you could like turn all their armor molten.
but that's like a 14 DC with everything he's got going on.
Right.
So
Which his pool is not.
His
really
pool is
a lot.
not high enough to be able to get that.
Right. Or I could just cast a firebar normally as a 7th level spell.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a strong action. You know,
So because I thought the fusing I could use with, but that's.
yeah, like right here would be nice.
Just Aaron's into.
I just know that this is a 20 by 20, so I mean, you know, this is a nice little template for it. For you guys at home, Legos are great for you know.
What do you want to do?
Little squares.
You want to hit the fireball?
Yeah, I'm doing the fireball.
All right, you got it. All right, now first you got to see if you can succeed at it, because
Oh no, I'm just going to cast it from my spells.
you're not going to use.
He has the
these.
technology.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
It's a 20-foot radius.
Radius, so it's even bigger.
So it's even bigger than this.
Yeah.
just spin it. Just twist it
It's
as you
40
go.
across. It goes across.
Yeah.
Oh,
Again,
gotcha.
he failed me so.
Right?
No, it's 20 across.
Well,
It's a 20-foot radius.
I thought this was 10-foot radius.
1, 2, 3,
20
4.
foot radius.
So 20.
Oh, it's a 40-foot diameter. That's
And then
humongous.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everything.
But I mean, I don't know where he's shooting because we're trying to hit invisible guys that are.
So
over-
shoot towards the back of the room so you don't light us on fire. Just saying.
Not all that concerned with that.
I heard you do wolfire.
Actually, I'm not too concerned about it either. Just saying.
38. What's the damage?
38. That's going to kill. That's going to take these guys out. Right. And how far in do you hit on these guys?
I think all of them.
Whatever I can get, as much as I can get.
That's important. What's
yeah.
your where did
10,
you focus it?
20, 30, 40.
So,
So it's going to hit here. Let's see.
not being... If you hit the dead center of the room, since you can't
So
see anything
it's
in
going to
there,
hit everything here.
Yep. Perfect. Okay.
so it doesn't hit me? Okay.
Yes.
Do you wear glasses? Do you have a parrot?
All right. And
Guess who?
right. And that was So you just took out all those guys and these guys, they were bigger, but they started them. These 2 are still up. These 4 are still alive. They can't be seen.
So-
they're not currently being seen. And
Morale?
so and then you're last. What do you want to do?
I don't think I can do anything because I can't see anybody like with this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, you can make it up.
Yeah, but I don't want to drop any. I don't want to be.
Yeah,
rolling
you're
death
worried
dice.
about doing something when
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't see
that's
anybody.
right. Death dice. You've
Yeah.
never seen it before.
I want to practice this under other conditions.
Come on, Nate. Don't be a pussy all your life.
All right, so
You know somebody's going to comment on that one.
yeah,
So it's
1 in 400.
so I know there's a guy pretty much here because he knocked this guy back.
Yes, correct.
So I'm gonna get here, and do I have any little area effect things? No, everything
is the
blows up
best.
everything, or it doesn't do
You got a
anything.
shatter?
Yeah, I got a shatter, but that's big. I'd have to like put it in the wall.
Okay.
What's the problem?
So this goes back to the hit points being expendable resource.
Not being able to...
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I got something. I'm at the end of the initiative, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna ready in action to fight anything that comes up. So I'm gonna put on my telekinetic shield and kind of get in between whatever this is over here.
Let's just shatter the four that's left. No,
All right.
I guess you don't.
So you have an action ready.
I don't know where anybody is.
We are back at the top of the round. Go ahead.
Just blow up the room.
So I kind of know that there's somebody like in this area behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to attack him.
Right.
I mean, he can take a two-handed sword. and
Normal
just
attack or
swing
fuse
through
attack?
a
I'm going to
giant
fuse
area.
attack. So I want to make fuse. Forge.
You're right,
So I want to make sure I get this
sorry.
right.
My fault.
You try
So-
to fuse, you die.
You could die.
1 in 400 chance. I like those odds. Okay.
Yes, but you
Never,
down to 0.
never tell him the odds.
Never tell me the odds. All right. So walk me through
You
this.
got
So,
it. All right. So how many damage would you like to do?
well, let me figure out my
Oh, your
dice
pool,
first,
yeah,
right? So,
so-
how do I know if I have a temp or a
So
permanent
you
tattoo?
you get a D10 and you get a D6.
Okay.
But your temp tattoo has to be a tramp stamp. It's kind of it's in the rules.
And
Scott
then,
can tell you this.
D10, D6.
Yeah, and
So what? So instruction, structure, or environment? I
oh,
would
and
have to be
Osmond. Oh, by the
conscious.
way, Osmonder and Gryon, they both get actions, and by the time they do, you'll get an extra D10 because they're marking the structure.
Okay,
That's what
so
they're taking
do I
action.
have to know that it's marked or?
No, it'll affect you. You're fine. All right.
Okay.
So, and now you know what you're going to roll to make it for. And so, how many points would you like to do? 60,
Oh.
10, 70, 12,
Let's go with 5d8.
8. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to attack twice or 3 times?
I'll try twice, so that's
All right.
5.
It's 5,
And I'll
then,
life steal.
All right. So that's
7.
2. All right. And then, did
he
you
was
want to
just
give
sick for
Did you want to give them vulnerability?
No, I just want to. This is
Okay.
actually alignment race.
Do you know what race they are? I mean,
No.
You can give them vulnerability to your own race. Damage dealt by you. That's 2.
Well,
So
they've,
how
they've
about-
been falling pretty easily, so
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
just
gonna
keep it-
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
so
with
you
the
don't need-
6.
yeah, you
I'm
don't
not gonna
need-
go with
yeah,
it.
you're fine.
Okay,
All right.
so
All right. So
that's 7.
7. Go right ahead. Roll your dice. Roll the
So-
3 dice in front of you. You already got it.
Oh. When I roll my
Yep.
I got it. That's 18.
You got it. You're good.
Okay, so
All
then I
right.
roll my attack.
Right. And you get a +2.
Yeah, so I have a +2, +4, +13.
You're going at an 18.
Okay, I have a 21.
You're good. You got him.
So I hit
Roll
him.
one more time because you got another attack.
He rolled a 3, so he can only roll better than the 3. I feel, but
Go ahead.
Wait, what do you mean? What?
You have disadvantage,
You paid for
they're
two,
invisible.
2 strikes. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
No, no.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, the 3's.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had rolled.
Basically, he had to not roll
You're
a
fine.
1.
I would have had to not roll
Yeah.
one.
He didn't even roll his
Yeah.
proficiency die.
Now you hit him. You hit him. Now roll 2d20 2 more times. Or 2d20. Yeah. Do it one more time.
16 and 19.
Yeah, you're fine. So you've hit him twice.
No, you're
Oh,
disadvantaged.
because I had 2 attacks. Okay. So that. Oh, great. Haha.
Right.
All right, and then I
So
roll
you get.
5d8.
It's gonna be 10d8 because you hit him twice.
10d8.
You can do them separately. That's fine.
2, 3,
Plus your normal damage, right?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh,
Don't you need
10.
your D12?
22, 24, 30, 40, right? Plus my 2d12.
You should turn that into a dice rolling tower. Have a little pop out the front.
So that's 40. 40 plus 16 is 56.
Double.
Dave told me
Plus
that. I consider
14
that, right?
You
is
got him.
70.
That's it. He's out. All right. So you cut him in half. All right. Thank
That
you.
one. I kind of
All
like
right.
that.
And then.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
Oh wow. All right.
I'm
Well, there's
gonna
already
take
more
my
targets though. Go ahead.
What's up?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
would I have any way of knowing that he's here?
Yeah, he did attack one of the other guys. There was a sound earlier, but he's not close enough.
No, but he can move. He
Yeah,
still
it's
doesn't
true. Oh,
move.
yeah, awesome. He's easily within range. Did you want to try to attack him?
No, I'll stay where I am, and I'll let
Him go. Yeah,
him
you're
go.
fine.
Oh, yeah, actually, and I lifestyle, so I get those points back, right?
Had you been damaged?
Half. You get half of it.
I get half of them back. No, I dealt damage. Yeah, I got damaged.
Oh.
Remember, he went for like 80.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, you want to do your thing?
I'm
So
gonna go over here.
I get. What did I do?
I know that somebody hit
You're
that
good.
dude.
What did I
and
do?
You don't have to roll with him. He
Yeah.
attacked earlier. You don't have to take this
Or
advantage.
less.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm gonna.
So
You said I get a D10
Yep.
for the weapon,
Yep.
D10 for the structure,
Yep.
and the D6
So go ahead and roll, and now we'll tell you what. Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
pick this. So I'm doing the 5 die 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
Do you have to make up
Can
and
I-
call your DC first before you roll the dice?
I would
Because
think so.
you're gambling. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try for the blood pin.
Yep.
The same thing.
So that's 2 more. You're good.
Yeah.
So you're at 4 right now.
Can you stack on other things here?
No,
you
only
lose
one
your
from
points.
each
Okay.
grouping. Yep.
Your DC roll.
Do you want anything else?
And so I'm at 2,
Take those points
4.
of damage.
Do you want to try giving
so if I
vulnerability
say-
to your own race?
I'm actually
You're
gonna say
like
specific
overextending
weapon
yourself.
because I know that 2 of
Yeah.
us use a greatsword.
Yep.
And he's standing right behind me.
Yep.
So that's 7,
Yep. So vulnerability.
Willie?
and that's
More than
that's
16. Oh yeah, you got more than enough. So with vulnerability, it does double damage, correct? Yep. So you actually have,
Oh,
So
from
roll
now
for your
on,
hits. You have
vulnerability will be
you have
something that I
two
can
attacks. You're rolling at 18.
Okay, so
There is
Yeah,
no
you're getting
point.
your
Good dude.
Proficiency.
Vulnerability slashing.
Because I'll always use it. Yeah.
You got it. Oh no! What do you
that's
got?
actually only an 11.
So you hit with 1.
Okay. All right.
This guy's not going to
So-
survive this.
So you got 5d8, but it's going to be 10d8 because he's vulnerable.
And then I also get my.
Does he have more than 30 hit points?
Well, this is my weapon damage,
Yeah.
and then I get d8s on top of that.
10 of them.
So do I get double this as well?
This is actually a little disconcerting, guys. He just gave us a way to do a ridiculous amount of damage.
That'll get back
But
at
the
us.
other big issue is you guys have opened it. You guys have opened it up between Almir and Aceions.
56.
I'm just more concerned about what we would need to do this kind of damage for.
Fighting gods.
God slaying. I've seen it. I've seen
I don't know.
it.
Scott likes to go into that Pathfinder book a lot, so
I've left that behind because I knew it disturbed you guys. You guys, what?
73.
You got him. You needed 70. You did. You down him. All right. And you like just thrust right through him. And that is actually they go before you two, and bink, they're gone right through the portal. All right. And that's okay. And so at that point, you guys have slain.
Well, I still get to act, and I get to call when I go. Fireball. Because I hear the clink of armor, because it's plate mail.
You don't have to roll for it.
Yeah,
you
no,
can easily
okay.
take them out.
Yeah.
All right. So as soon as they
Teflon
start
Billy never
moving,
lost.
yeah, you take them out. You were able to kill all of the revolutionists, right? And it's huge. It's huge because there's a whole bunch of these guys, right? And so here's what happens. So each one of these is like a known person. Half of them are like princes in the city or children of high-ranking officials on half of these 14 cities, right? So right here.
Oh, the rebels?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think we
Right.
made some enemies.
Yeah, exactly. And Osmond and Grion are like wow, this is huge because one, we now have a lot of clues as what families are lined up with the rebels, and they cut the room off. And they identify each person, and then they have these bodies thrown into that
I see the yellow
wasteland,
tape going up.
into the wasteland through the portals.
Oh, I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well,
so,
I mean, I'd
yeah.
be happy to take any
And at that
stuff,
point,
but then
you guys
disappear.
are, so you've used. Actually, you guys did not use fusing, but you've used forging. You're familiar with all of it. You have, and also you have made huge allies in both Vikmond and in Orsmond's city as well. And you have everything. Like you have the full journals. You have, you have everything. You guys are ready to return. And at that point, you guys are you're Orsmond and Grion. There's kind of a couple days where you guys are just kind of down, just taking a little bit of downtime. Lady Kajel asks for one more walk, and when she's walking with you, she says, you've been talking about her with your adventures, and she's like, I don't want you to return. I don't think any of you should return. Aceion is its own world. Is there any reason to go back for Darsa?
Oh, for the...
Yeah, for the cat people.
Huh.
Because we said we would. To start a war, is it not?
Yes, but they seem to already be at war, my lady.
They're at war within themselves and a war with the Grey Riders. That's my point. There's war enough on this land.
4 armies.
We need
Perhaps,
battle.
perhaps the cat people can bring some kind of balance to
We are our
they seem to
own
be
army, so we're the fifth.
creatures of the wild in nature.
We
but
can
they
name
also
our
understand
unit
the
fifth army.
importance of civilization and structure.
The army of 5.
So, in some ways, they are a good fit for this place without all of this bickering and nonsense.
So, it sounds like you and your group will be heading back to Holmby.
I am
Is that
not very
correct?
interested in leaving right now, though. That is for sure.
There's stuff I wish to do
She
first
said,
as well.
perhaps you would stay as your group returns.
I could begin to set up the trade routes and other such things. I do not have to physically be there. I will have to think about it.
It's just the time is coming quickly.
Well, perhaps you can show me that cave you were talking about, and I will think about it on our journey.
On our journey.
Yes.
Is an excellent idea. Yes, I will show that to you. So you guys kind of take a leisurely, you guys go there and you think and you're thinking over. Back to you guys, okay?
The guy who says he wanted to talk to me about the dwarven stuff, I definitely want to, talk that up and see whether I can improve life. Because even if they overthrow the riders, there are some people who want to stay underground. So therefore, I need to do whatever's possible to get that way of life elevated.
Right.
And anything that I might not even think about as Ted, that is
your
standard
character
for
would know.
dwarves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like I said, he spent a lot of time there. So he knows that stuff. And
So even within the 6 weeks, the food has gotten much, much better, and they're able to produce 25% more just with what the things that you said, and the 25% more that they're producing is like 15% better tasting and fresher. So they're.
I would
extremely
also help out with that too with Druid lore.
Hey, could your arcane focus be a tiki mask? That would be a badass druid sorcerer thing. A tiki mask.
Yeah,
It probably could be.
I think it'd be awesome.
So one of the things is,
Especially with the dragon.
one of the things is you actually assist them as well, and they now as a do you guys know how to? No, neither one of you really know how to craft at all, do you?
he's the crafter.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
he's the
He's the super crafter.
But actually, you've been learning a lot, and they're really wary of learning stuff from you. They're really worried about psionics.
Well, I mean, I can show the things that I know naturally how to do.
Well, that would
I'm-
help. Yeah.
I pretty much have. If it's equipment that you can buy to make something, including cooking pots, in the player's handbook, I bought it. And it's in my,
By the way,
it's in my
both
stash.
of you guys now, you have advantage on all diplomacy or any type of investigative or any of the mental skills you guys will have. If you're asking for help from any of the Vicmonder or any of the allied cities that did not rebel, you guys have advantage on those diplomacy roles and such, because the people have so much goodwill toward what you've done.
Could we use the wish spell to create a permanent teleportation circle or portal back to Olimar or Elmir?
Olmir, yeah.
That only we could use.
Well, I don't know about it. We could do it that way. It'd probably be better if we didn't, because we can bring the cat people right through the portal.
Just thinking we might not want to give them unlimited access to. Just
think about the trade options.
This is true.
Are you opposed to it?
No, I'm not even thinking.
You were just
wouldn't
thinking out loud.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking out loud.
But, well, what if we possibly create a portal that has a locking system, like a door?
That would be a good idea.
So the answer to that is yes. You can
Belagor's
absolutely
going a
use
different.
wish for
Wants to
that.
pursue something different, though.
So,
Anything you want to know before you go back?
I mean, in the downtime that we've had, my character's pretty out of depth because he's more of a courtier and a barrister. So he's pretty much like interested in like what their legal code is down here, and if there's any text when we encounter these guys, learning their heraldry and their symbols and things like that. And it's also more of the part of the understanding the knowledges of the people.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll probably spend my time after, because he's more comfortable being at court, and there isn't much of a court here.
So one of the things is their flags, their banners are these. They're the symbols, right? And so one of them is you now know these. So one of the things is your character knows these forward and backwards. He's able to recognize the symbols at all times. The rest of you guys are only able to recognize the symbols that you've seen, right? You still have Nigrosil, which is the only symbol that's not been seen by anybody but you or Lady Kajel. One of the things also is when you start asking these questions, they start realizing that they don't have a court system, and that they start asking questions about nobles, and so one of the things that I'm curious of is, would you spread the idea of nobility to them, or would you keep? Oh yeah,
it's in the code and the ethics of my deity.
And they're saying, so if the leaders have a child, that child should be first in line for leadership next time.
Right. He's naturally born better than those that are born below.
So honorable blood.
Yeah. He's of a higher stock.
If I'm here for this, I would actually go and say that nobility is also something that can be earned through deed.
But only through great deeds and accomplishment, of course, because it's very much.
And then you start
bloodline.
talking about knights and what a knight is.
And I would actually, chime in and say that I am a knight. I was not born a noble, but I became one.
He worked very hard, and we're very proud of him from what he's come from.
Like a pet.
Yeah.
Any other questions before you guys head back?
Yeah. So I wanted to search out Osmonder.
Yes.
And start discussing with her again about approaching the council that she had referenced on how we begin to organize to
an army.
How do we? Yes, exactly. How do I begin to form the army and start strategizing on how we deal with this Grey Rider program? Because I feel that my commitment to the cat people has pretty much been satisfied now. This is where I need to.
You might say that. Oh, by the way, we've already killed one.
Oh yeah, I'll bring this
what
up.
What is this wee business?
By the way, by the way, we decapitated the head of one of their little clans, and pretty sure.
And his
so one, you wouldn't even have to wait until that, because you've known all along, right? So after week 1, so you've had 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And you can write these down. There's a Maladium strike force, there's an Aluminum strike force, and there's a Bendaloid strike force. Maladium, Aluminum, and Bendaloid. They each have 20 men. You've trained every single one of them, right? So you've trained 60 people, and you've trained them to train, right? And so, they have started to learn your fighting styles. And one of the things that's weird, like you guys are walking in the halls and you're noticing that all these, like, half the fighters now carry
great axes.
Where they're half of them have great axes. Their belt is at the same angle as his. They tie their armor in the same way. You're like, that's right. Weird, Right? Yeah.
They have dragon helms.
Yeah, exactly.
And out of like professional curiosity, are there any that have some of the similar bonds that I might have? Like maybe my imps might have scout out, or even I might trigger my detect infernal stuff to see if anybody has any of the influences about them that I might tend to have.
So, what do you mean exactly? Somebody who would somebody who might follow your god?
No, he's looking for warlock packs.
Fiendish. If there's any warlocks or fiendish pack, if they have the aura about them, because I'll use divine sense every once in a while since I'm just wandering around and just see.
So here's the answer to that. Oh, I see what you're saying. So
he's looking to get people.
There are the only classes.
No, not really. I'm just curious if anybody does.
The only classes on this entire continent are fighter, right, which is above the ground, and druid, which is what all the Grey Riders are. Crazy powerful druids. Okay. Literally blessed by Aceion, right? So now there are no sorcerers, no wizards, nothing else, right? Now there are people who could be warlocks, and you do find them. Did you wish to start training warlocks?
No, because here's the thing. Actually, I would probably vet them and see if I have to put them down. So, because I'm able to handle my situation.
Yeah, but you're like, hey, would you like to bind your soul to a demon? Or I can see that. So there are a few, and you do mark them. Are you actually going to start killing them?
I might talk to them and see what kind of feel or sense I get from them, and see if they're going to be a problem.
So yes.
Like how likely they are to be corrupted or corruptible.
Wow. All right,
and I will
you have 4 by name at this point.
My imp servitors are forbade. I have this book of they're legally bound not to do this thing once I write it down. So they have no interactions with those
with any of them. So there are 4 of them. 3 of them are these I see these guys have dark tendencies. This guy Anozel, all right. Anozel is an Asamar, and Anozel. You kind of get a dark foreboding that if he were to make a pact, he could be a crazy powerful warlock.
Yeah.
All right. And then at that point, you guys. So it sounds like you guys are all. What is your decision? Are you returning?
I got a few just quick questions about this. Okay, so there's this power that is never before.
Yeah.
Does that mean you can actually make a spell kind of thing?
Oh yeah, exactly. You can do things that are not in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the whole point.
All right. So
But you have to make a death save.
Yeah, he's right.
And how far is a kingdom?
Kingdom would be Aceion, right? So there's no king in Aceion, but it would be, so you couldn't affect it. But if you went into Omer, you could do something that would affect the entire kingdom.
So I'd have to roll like.
Yeah.
I have 3.
So here's how you would work.
That are all 5.
I would say 6 and 5. I have a 5 and a 2. This is interesting. So the death save would not kick in. Guess what would happen on this 1-5 that you hit? Your tattoo would become permanent.
Oh, and what's wrong with probably?
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Oh.
So a great thing happens or you die. It's one or the other.
And,
Nothing happens.
Dying or going down a death save.
Right. Exactly.
So then you have to start making death saves.
Yep.
Can anything save you from the death saves except just rolling good?
So that's a great. No, you would just have to do your normal rolls. And the reason why is
like
in
people
comic.
can't help you.
No. Well, actually, people can come over but you'd be kind of gaming it. It's like, I got a guy sitting here that's already going to restore me. I mean, you could get a follower, but so essentially.
I'm curious. It's not like
he cast this spell. We talked about turn their plate mails into lava. And he drops. I can see him. I'm a healer.
Right.
I can walk over and heal him, and he's fine.
If you're 30 feet, you know what I mean. If you're 40, you wouldn't be able to reach him in time, and you have to do at least 1 death save. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my idea. We have to find a place here and think of a place there that we create a portal to.
A secret portal.
So it doesn't actually matter when we do it because it's like going through a door. If we create this permanent portal, like the downtime it becomes irrelevant because I'm in a hurry to get back there.
Yeah, this is a big question.
Book.
Hold it. Are you going back, or are you staying with Lady Kajal?
I'd really like to stay, but I want to figure out how to. I've got this luck blade, so I'm like, we could make a really nice.
You have to make your decision now. These guys are ready to go. Are you staying or are you going?
If we go through a teleport, it's literally just instantaneous. So it's like.
What's your decision?
There's no voyage.
I really want to. I feel like I should stay.
All right, yeah, you have inspiration.
So, I feel like I should stay.
Yeah. So you stay with Lady Kajal and you tell them, "Hey, I'm going to be here, but I'm waiting for you guys to come back."
Yes,
Lady
I
Kajal.
give them all of my information and all of my my non-cryptic journal stuff.
So at that point, Lady Kajal is ecstatic. Your relationship with her at that point turns into a romantic relationship.
Oh boy.
Yeah, obviously.
Whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
I guess by telling her I stay, I'll stay with her.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the only reason she did not care about war between.
She's like, look.
And by the way, you get a
eyes.
sense that if you decide to go, she would have went back to Omer too. So you get that after you tell her you're staying. So you're staying.
Trickery.
You're ready to go.
Women.
The wish spell will be one. You can do what you want with the portal.
Okay.
You guys are going back, and from what it sounds like, you are ready to bring the cat people back over. Is that right?
This side agrees.
Yeah, they're ready
to
to
accept them.
Absolutely.
But there's got to be whoever the leader of the cat people is,
Darcy.
and I want them to know everything.
Yep.
Every last detail, and no one is going through that portal
Until they're
They've been spayed. I want them neutered.
until they're aware of what they're walking into.
I think they should have to commit to helping overthrow the Grey Riders as well. As a condition of coming.
Yeah.
I don't agree to that at all. They've escaped slavery. I'm not going to force anything upon them.
But you want to bring that up with Darsa, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Right,
I will bring that up to that.
There's going to be conflict anyway. You don't really have to do anything. Just
So
pull
here's
together.
Exactly.
okay.
Cats and dogs. I thought I'd give you the druid explanation of this before.
I
got cats and dogs.
You
I
now
got
have a
it.
portal 15 miles out of the capital city, right?
Okay.
And wherever you want in a safe space on Aceion, right? You have the ability to lock it. And everyone at this table has the ability to unlock and lock it. You can bring through 100 people every hour. Okay, so there's a lot of traffic that can move through it. Your wish spell is burnt. If you want to add anything else onto the portal, no problem. Just let me know as long as it's reasonable.
How about every time we go
It's
through
fine.
it heals us completely?
You guys go back to you tell him everything, right? He is no holds barred. I will help you with the Grey Riders. We are fully on board, and the reason why is Darwin has been incredibly kind to us, but the reality is we're slaves here. And our people will never get over living with slave people. So whatever issues they have over here, they got to be better than living with our ex-slavers. We're in, right? They start coming through immediately. And at that point, you guys start bringing over all 5,000 to live 400 at a block in the different cities. The rebellion is still going on, and the rebellion sharpens a bit when they get there, but you guys are able to bring them over. And at that point, you guys, so 4 months is going to pass between now and whenever we have anything next, right? And you guys will level 2 levels before the next session within that 4 months.
So that's essentially from the start of this session to the start of next, is a total of 3 levels.
So
because we got 1 level.
Tell me
for
the
6
ending
weeks.
level. That's going to be what I.
yeah, so you're going to be at you're at 13. You leveled once in this session.
Yep.
You're going to be at 16th level.
Okay.
Okay. I missed the leveling once.
Yep.
I was upset.
And that is a wrap. Thank you guys very much for playing. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you for your patience with this stuff. I know it was confusing. I got it really excited and built it this week.
I am personally going to oversee the cat people going over.
Yeah.
And I'm going to examine all the females as they go through, and I'm putting together my mental list.
That's also everything you were promised. You get. So actually, yes.
Flight carpet.
Is that what you
Wow.
That's right.
I don't.
He honors. Oh, and I think you didn't ask for anything, right?
I think I said that I was.
I will figure out what he gives you. What did you ask for?
Trade
rights, which you have. That's exactly right.
And now I have a portal that goes right to the city.
And you are now you're dwarven, right?
No, I'm human.
Human, that's right. Okay, yeah.
I thought you were dragon.
You are the first druid Harriet Tubman, which is very cool. Yes, very cool. Nice. All right. And also, your cat wife is brought forward, and you guys are married in a normal cat ceremony, which involves a lot of scratching, and but you are hairballs at this point. Right, yeah. And I'll give you stats on that as well.
So one more question for Darsa was, my intent was to lead the rebellion. Is he okay? Like, was he be okay with me? Basically, okay. That was.
And actually, the two of you are like right hand man. So you are considered one of his immediate counselors, right? So he talks to you guys on a daily basis. And he's really honored by the fact that you took one of his own people as your wife, and and so you guys are have direct contact him whenever you wish.
So Ted, did you work up half cat people stats?
No, I didn't get that far.
Oh my gosh, half cat! You're right. That's gonna be next. All right, and again, so yeah, and thank you guys very much. That was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for running.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, and stay.
Until next time, stay nerdy.